Kia of Madison Sports Center.
What is up, Madison? I'm Hunter Vaughn. Your Sports Center update is brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, home of smoke-free slots and the highest payout percentage in the area. Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, more spins, more wins, more fun. Some Green Bay Packers coaching news that broke yesterday. First, Luke Getsy is returning to Green Bay as a senior offensive assistant. He was the offensive coordinator for the Raiders last season before he was let go in the middle of the year. Also, special teams coordinator Rich Bisaccia will be back for the 2025 season with Green Bay. You can stay up to date on all things green and gold related over at ESPNWisconsin.com. On to the NBA. The Milwaukee Bucks have now won 8 of their last 10 games after a 125-110 victory over the Utah Jazz last night. Giannis had a 35-point double-double. Dame also scoring 35 points in that victory. Up next for the Milwaukee Bucks will be a battle at Portland tonight. It's a 9 p.m. tip-off right here on Madison's home for Milwaukee Bucks basketball.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com. Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Is there anything anybody loves more than agreeing with Tausch?
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
I got a hunch this isn't going to be concise either.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio.
I would say that you are pretty easygoing. You're actually probably more easygoing than I am.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Well, you're not easygoing at all.
Hey!
On 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
It is the Tuesday edition. The Rich Bisaccia is back for at least another year. And Packers fans are unhappy? Edition. The Luke Getsy is back on staff after unsuccessful stints as an offensive coordinator in Chicago and Las Vegas, and Packers fans are not happy. And Tausch may or may not be back on video. And if he is, I could tell you this. I'm happy. Edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. And you can't wipe the smile off my face. It feels like it's been as long as he was in California on that month-long vacation since I've seen his smiling face. He is the Packers Hall of Famer. Oh, by the way, I'm Jason Wilde. I'm in Green Bay. Hunter Vaughn is the cousin sub of the day for Jesse in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. But back where he belongs, in his undisclosed location for all to see, he is the Packers Hall of Famer. He's Mark Tausch. Tausch, good morning. Great to have you back.
I'm good. It's good to be back. It took a lot of work, Hunter, and it took Jesse leaving for us to get this figured out. So I don't know if that's a coincidence or if it's just happenstance that this is how it worked out. But Hunter, Riley, Jody, the great team, we figured it out. And I don't know if that's a good thing. We'll see by the views if it was a good thing. And if it's down today, I think I might go back to just being audio OT. But for today, we're going to be VOT again.
Please no.
VOT again. Please no.
So who gets the lion's share of the credit for getting
Jody.
you back up and running?
Jody.
And is there any lion's share of the blame to go around for anyone who caused you to be off for as long as you were on our little TV show?
I don't do that. Good team players don't publicly admonish other teammates.
Yeah,
They
but what
just
if it
don't.
was you?
So, it wasn't me. What do you mean, what if it was me?
I'm sorry. You're a good teammate. I'm sorry. It wasn't me. It was somebody else. It wasn't me. All right. Well, we're glad to have you back. I got a lot of laundry folded in the last couple of days while you were gone. Those have now been put away. You're
correct me, and one of our good friends and fans of the show. I'm not going to tell you who. You can figure it out later. Texted me yesterday and said when I got irritated with you after I went on, which I'm guessing will be a sound graph, a great quote, 2-minute rant on the ability of a quarterback to run and what it does to a defense, and we had a whole thing. It was, I thought, a really interesting conversation. You were folding laundry, and you just uttered Aaron Rodgers right after that comment. You were not listening to a thing I said. Is that a fair assessment?
No, not at all. First of all,
right,
the
Fultzy, I'm not going to put anybody's business on the street, but Fultzy said you caught Wilde, is what he told me.
No, that wasn't at all.
All right, I'm just telling you.
Well, he's entitled to his opinion, but no, I was not. First of all, I was not folding laundry. That is a joke. Second of all, I was looking up some statistics, but I was still listening. And third, I'm not sure what you were looking for from me there, other than attaboy, great job, really insightful stuff, way to go.
Yep.
But I definitely listened. And it was insightful stuff, and now I know that I need to give more positive reinforcement to be a good teammate when you have
it's
really
not really
good
even
stuff.
That. It's more like having, after I talk, like a point that fits what I was just talking about. It's not. It doesn't need to be, oh, T, that was great, blah, blah, blah. It could just be, well, the defensive end stuff is really interesting, getting into all of that, not just talking about Aaron Rodgers and Chico. I mean, that was the only thing that he
all right, just to be clear, never discussed Chico at all. I was actually the Aaron Rodgers information about running the football. Some might say, apparently not Fultzy, but some might say that information was germane to what you were talking about in terms of the quarterback.
Fultzy and I both agree. Fultzy and I agree. You were poo-pooing it. Geriod, I think, also agrees with me. I have not gotten info from the Klinkster yet. I don't know if Brandon has talked about this potential Tulsa, Oklahoma remote that we might do because of our fan base in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, Brandon and Tulsa.
So now that I'm back on video, I just feel whole. I feel back. So I feel good about that. Question for you, and I don't know if you do this. You go on a road trip. We had a hockey tournament in Dallas last weekend.
And apparently Tulsa.
Last weekend. It was not in Tulsa. Again, I have not been to the great state of Oklahoma. It's on our list of places we want to go.
Do they have a
What
national
is
park
the
there?
expectation if Max and I rent the car? What is the expectation of, let's just call it Bartsky and his kid? What would be the expectations other than just being on time? What's the expectation when you do a carpool of that nature?
Are you saying like he pays for the gas?
No, I'm not even talking. No, there's nothing monetary I'm even talking about.
Okay.
That's not the question. The question is it ridiculous for me to ask for him to run the radio and or directions? Is that some obscene ask of someone that's
No, the navigation always goes, as I can tell you from my many years of traveling for Packers coverage with Tom Oates, columnist emeritus of the Wisconsin State Journal.
What kind of a car mate was Oatesy? Did he drive? Did you drive? How did that work?
Once I was old enough to drive and rent a car, because remember you got to be 25 in order to be able to do that. Without like extra fees and stuff, I believe. So once I hit that magical age 25, I was the driver. He was the navigator. Again, when you think back to how long I've done this, there was no Google Maps. There was no GPS in the car. There was no Waze, which was his favorite once we got up to the computer age. There was no MapQuest yet. So you asked for a map at the rental counter, and Otzi, being the outstanding cartographer that he was always the navigator for us. And he was great at it.
He was good with like the atlas. You pull out the book, and he's.
If I made a wrong turn, was he great? Not as great. No. I may have ignored his commands once or twice and gone the wrong direction and taken us out of the way. The worst it ever got was when we were in Nashville for a Packers-Titans game, and we stayed at the Opryland Hotel, and it was around Christmas time.
That's a big hotel.
I think that was during your era. You guys stayed there, too, as a team.
We stayed there.
And a bunch of guys, it's such a massive property, and it was Christmas time, and everybody comes inside. There's like gondolas going through it, and you're looking at Christmas lights inside the Opryland Hotel. And I remember multiple players being late for meetings because they couldn't negotiate the very large facility that you were in. But Otzi we spent about an hour and a half getting from the exit off the highway into the parking attendant area. That was not enjoyable. So that was one of the few times where he lost his temper. Not just at me, but at the poor parking guy to whom he said, "Don't you have any civil engineers in this town?" So that was a great moment, and I hope Otzi's listening.
Otzi was mad about engineering. Okay. Well, anyways, so I didn't think it was a big deal. We got in, and rental car lines, it was a mess. Everybody was patient for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Get in the car. We're going to the hotel, and he misses a turn. And for everybody that knows me on this show, I ain't happy about that. It ain't that hard. Like, it's just not. No big deal. All right, Bartsky, we'll just keep going. He misses another turn. I get irritated. He then wants to rescind all navigational duties the rest of the weekend. And then the radio, I think he ended up breaking the radio. So
breaking the radio?
The radio didn't work the rest of the weekend. Like on Saturday, worked the first night. Saturday comes, the radio doesn't work. So he rescinds all duties and basically just wants to sit and have a great time and don't worry about anything else. I thought that was IPT. That's what I thought.
All right, I have, as is often the case with these stories, I have a myriad of questions, starting with when in the Google Maps age you are assigned navigation. What exactly does that entail? Is he texting you right now, by the way?
Get us from point A to point B.
Right, but like,
point A to point
all right,
B.
so for example, newer vehicles, you plug in if you're an iPhone person, which I know you are, despite your desire to leave them, you plug it in, it's got Apple CarPlay, and the map comes up right on the screen. Did you have him doing it just on his phone and then telling you what to do?
Phone.
Because that sounds like a bad setup, frankly.
Well, listen, at this point, they could have given me any car because the line was long. It just is what it is.
What'd you get? Did you get Tahoe?
They didn't even get us, though. We ended up with I don't even know. I'm sure it was some type of Chevy. But we were supposed to get a full size. We didn't. We would have had to wait it. I said, I just want to go. We need to be able to fit 2 hockey bags in, and we're good. I don't care. Whatever. I don't know. The navigation system with the plug-in, it wasn't on the screen. The screen actually, by Saturday, didn't even work. I'm going to blame Bart because I think he was hitting all these buttons. I'm not blaming Bart for that. But we did, and he just texted me. He didn't miss turns, but we had to do late merges. We missed a turn. We've had to do at least 2 U-turns over the weekend. So on Saturday, I just said, you know what? Take the day, relax, sit back.
Take the day, take a beat,
take the day off, and enjoy it. So I guess I was just being, I think the word tyrannical was used.
I'm Team Bart here, bro. I'm Team Bart here.
How are you Team Bart?
Because if you plug it in to it, there's no way
Hey, Jason, I don't have access to what the car is going to give me, okay? Is it that hard? You put it on your phone and you say, hey, Tausch, exit 36B, get over to the right. And then we started communicating and talking, and we were much better. First time, struggle. Second time, not great. By the third time, there was good communication between us, but then I could tell it looked like he had been through 4 football games by the time we got to the hockey rink. He looked disheveled. He said he was walking on eggshells. He was nervy. I said, chill out, brah. So bad that he had to go to the hockey mom, because his wife wasn't there either. That's why we were, riding together.
Sure.
He's going to the hockey mom to get Advil because he's so stressed out.
So my question is, you laugh at Bart's
Well,
expense.
I thought it was ridiculous. We were just at a gas station. Whatever. I just thought that was funny.
Well, how do you feel about the fact that your tyrannical behavior left him so stressed out that he had a tension headache because of your tyrannical behavior?
In fairness, it could have been the 72 Coors Lights he drank the night before. But that's a conversation for another day. What it did, and I talked with Sarah that day, I said, I probably owe you an apology.
Probably.
Because if Bart gets this stressed out, I'm a lot more demanding when it comes to getting on the right turns, and because I always drive. And that's the price you pay. You drive, I'm going to maneuver, we'll get there, But I do demand, just like the Chiefs, I am the Chiefs of rental car. I demand excellence when it comes to getting on and off exits. I'm not asking for anything. I can't even get that out with a straight face.
You sound more like
but
the
you
Jaguars.
know what I mean? I'm not asking for you to reinvent the wheel. I just want you to get me on the right exit at the right time, and we get there on time. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, no, that's great. Between this story and the policy on stops, do you believe yourself to be an enjoyable person to ride with?
That's a really good question.
I'm never riding in a car with Tausch.
I think the answer, as a passenger, I think I am a treat. As the driver, I might be a bit demanding.
I'm a treat. What makes you a treat as a passenger, if I may ask?
Conversation, games. I love playing car games in the car. We're going to always have some kind of topics that we're going to be bantering about. I'll also be quiet and not say anything. I read the room. I read the car.
You read the vehicle. Yeah. So, and when you're driving long
distance. And here's Bart's last quote, because I'm guessing he's irritated. Poor Sarah and Max, that's all I have to say.
Yeah.
So he obviously didn't have a great experience rolling around in whatever car we had.
I'm shocked.
I'm shocked. 4 missed turns and a broken radio later, and he's the one irritated with me.
All right, there's no way you broke the radio. Like, you guys...
the radio's broke. The radio didn't work.
Are you sure you just didn't hit the wrong buttons and you were in like some sort of wrong source thing? Like, these are all what is it? Occam's razor that Josh taught us. Usually the simplest explanation is usually the right one. Maybe you just hit the wrong buttons.
No, literally you couldn't turn the station. The screen was dead.
Okay,
it's over.
Last question for me.
Yep.
What remaining road trips are there for your hockey team? And is Bart now finding different transportation? Would he rather pay for his own vehicle? What is his mentality here? Can he ride with the hockey mom? Are there drawbacks to riding with other parents that are teammates? Because clearly he's, I think especially now having been publicly questioned, I'm guessing that he's donezo with the carpool with the Tauschers.
I'm not sure. I'm actually going to reach out to him and see if he wants to go. We have a trip to St. Louis coming up in the next couple weeks. I'm going to see if he wants to carpool down to St. Louis. I'll let him drive.
Madison, not just like flying into a place and then driving around that place. you're actually thinking after your treatment of him, hey, you know what would be great for Bart? He could drive down with us all the way.
I'm hoping he wants to still carpool down to St. Louis. And if he does, we'll have a great time. I got 3 or 4 different fun car games to play. We'll have a great time on the way down. I'll probably be rolling solo, would be my guess.
All right. Well, Bart, we stand with you. You poor bastard.
Can you say that on the radio?
I think so. We'll find out, I guess. What you have to say on the radio right now, though, is tell people about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. They, unlike you, are the best.
Happy New Year means a lot of rough days for Bart and anyone else riding with me. For those who suffer from seasonal affective disorder. I did learn that maybe I got to tone it back a little bit. I don't know if I will, but I learned I probably should. Plenty of gray, frigid days on the horizon where we all just want to be snugly and warm at home. Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0 interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. But hurry up. You only have until January 31st, so visit PellaWI.com today to learn more. Certain restrictions to apply. Jason, the only thing as we go out to break here, the amount of, disgust that I was asking him to do anything is what was really off-putting to me. That off-put me a little bit.
Is it possible that you need to maybe just, again, I'm not saying that it makes you a bad person, but is it possible that you maybe need to give a little bit of thought to your approach to how you others who ride in your vehicles? Especially, you admitted that you had to apologize. You admitted that you might owe Sarah an apology. Did you actually deliver said apology?
I told Sarah she gets me, so she understands this. I know in the past she struggled with Tausch driving disorder, TDD. She has really grown. And I think my growth has been that I will now stop. I no longer force my agenda of just getting from A to B after I watch my daughter tear up from holding her bladder. So we've all learned. We've all grown in this crazy little world. And I think this trip down to Dallas has helped continue my growth on this path.
Bart, again, we stand with you. You have our sympathies. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
LabCorp Clinical Trials is changing to a new name, Fortrea. While the name may be different, Fortrea combines decades of great experience and professionalism with new opportunities for clinical trial participation. It's more than a mission and more than a new name. Fortrea is dedicated to moving healthcare forward. To learn more about the future of healthcare and upcoming clinical trials, visit us at FortreaClinicalTrials.com. That's FORTREA clinicaltrials.com.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Dennis Semrau with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Our ESPN Madison UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Tegan Simpson from Oregon High School. What's it like to be a Panther?
I love being a Panther. I love the culture here. I love the teachers here and the people. It's a great school.
You're a wrestler and softball player.
I am.
And then wrestling, how did that come into play?
So I actually learned about wrestling my sophomore year of high school through Panthervision, which is like our school's news. There was a video, they were looking for people to join, and I thought it would be cool. I thought it would keep me in shape for softball season. So I went home and I told my parents, and we went out, we got my first pair of shoes, and I joined.
And you've been to state twice.
Yes, I have.
What's it like in the Kohl Center?
I couldn't even imagine it the first time I went. It's huge. You feel super official, and the lights, the people, the mats, they're super cool.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Listen to Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin on 100.5 ESPN.
When you overburden, you push too hard, your Conestoga wheel falls off, and you're not going to be able to recover in time, and you end up sitting on the side of the road hoping somebody pulls up with a better Conestoga, and you got to reload next year.
Wilde and Tausch, weekdays 9 to noon on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by Hallman Lindsay Paints, Coors Light, Made to Chill, and American Family Insurance.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
We're on the Packers.
The Green Bay Packers simply couldn't beat the elite talent in the NFC.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
They were good. They were not good enough.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
Evan Cohen scheduled to appear in a few minutes. If you tuned in for a conversation about Rich Bisaccia, we'll get there. But any other notes to this point from Bart after putting his navigational business on the streets, or has he ceased communication with you?
No, he's still communicating. I think he enjoyed that little banter back and forth, and my guess, just judging by the tweets I'm getting, most people are kind of on Bart's side on this. So
you seem surprised.
Bart feels pretty good. I'm not. As I've said, I expect greatness, and when that doesn't
You're the
come,
Chiefs, yeah. Mm-hmm.
when that doesn't come, I can understand why people get a little bit irritated. So yeah, I get it. I'm not the easiest. Newsflash to everybody, Jason. By the way, you're no peach either. I'm not always the easiest person to deal with on a daily basis. And I feel very, very confident you're not that easy to deal with on a daily basis either.
Well, I want to thank you for that public admission, which you delivered after taking a shot at me and then followed up with a second shot at me on the other side of that admission.
It's not a shot.
You're not.
Are you an easy person to deal with on a day? Are you an easy person to deal with?
I think so.
Oh God, you're delusional. Okay, so you're very delusional, and that. Okay, that's fair. I guess the difference between you and I, there's a lot of differences. I'm not delusional. You're very delusional, which is okay.
You just called
and
yourself
I know
the Kansas City
retired
Chiefs.
Navy fella is going to be all over this first 30 minutes. And by the way, he's right today. Retired Navy fella, 100% right, at least for the first half hour today.
In the open of our show, I call you easygoing. Now, in fairness, and then you also, that again, much like you just did now, well, you're not easygoing at all. The last couple days, not so easygoing. Apparently, in this drive,
today
not so
easygoing.
easygoing.
Today's been easygoing.
Today has been. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So far, so good. We'll change that next.
Listen.
When you talk with Evan Cohen.
Yeah, we will. I just wanted to get the video stuff working. I thought we had put in all this time. I'm going to be me. I'm frustrated. I'm not going to fake like I'm not frustrated. I'm sorry if that offends you. It's just I'm not going to be fake. I'm not.
So what you're saying is by being irritable and difficult, you deserve credit because you were just being authentic.
I'm not asking for credit. I'm explaining why I was ornery. I admit that I was ornery, 100%. I told you yesterday I was ornery.
You were. I didn't need you to tell me. Evan Cohen joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the Packers.
For me, the next year, this upcoming year,
because we're on Wisconsin sports.
It's when I'm judging Jordan Love on a lot of things.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
Do you want to have more fun watching the NFL playoffs? Try playing Sleeper Picks. Just download the Sleeper app today and pick more or less on at least 2 players' projected stats. You can win up to 100 times your cash. For a limited time, Sleeper has a special offer. New users have to just play $5 and they'll receive $55 in free entries. Just download the Sleeper app today and use code BRAD, B-R-A-D. Must be 18 years or older. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms of use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Looking for the most popular answer. What's the worst thing about Wisconsin winters? Gina Della from Pella.
Finding a sitter when snow closes school. Yay! It's the time of the year when we just want to be all warm and snuggly at home. And Pella helps make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. With inviting doors to let friends and family in and beautiful, energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
Your current car, soon to be your old car. A new car, better start looking. But you've got this, just like Associated Bank's got you with free credit score and score monitoring on most new consumer checking accounts. Because when you know you need to make a big purchase, knowing your credit score puts you in the driver's seat. You've got this with free credit monitor from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Is your computer so slow you can hardly use it? Does it have blue screens, malware, viruses, reboots, hardware crashes? Sound familiar? Computers will have problems, and when they do, you need the computer experts at Madison Computer Works. Every day we help home users and businesses keep their computers and networks running smoothly. For solutions to your computer problems, call the pros at 231-8000, and we'll turn this into this. Madison Computer Works. Computers that work for you.
You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Jim Rutledge here. What is a better buying experience? Well, that's the thing. You get to define it. It is the experience that is customized to you. What experience do you want at a car dealership? They can be your trusted friend or your trusted expert. So if you're in the market for a new or new-to-you Silverado, Colorado, Blazer, Trailblazer, remember, you're only minutes away from a better buying experience. And that's at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
Hold your friends close and your rivals closer on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Molly, thank you so much for hopping on. You obviously have carte blanche to join the show whenever. Now, Evan Cohen did think that you might actually be on the show more during your maternity leave than Matt Hamilton will be on during the same time.
Okay. I'll take the challenge.
Molly,
okay.
we want you to be better and rested and ready to get back, and I don't want to lose this.
Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light. Weekdays 4 to 6 on 100.5 ESPN.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Welcome to the 2025 NFL Draft on ESPN Radio.
The NFL Draft is now underway.
Live from historic Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
With the first pick.
Thursday, April 24th on ESPN Radio, ESPN, and on ABC.
I'm throwing caution. What's it gonna be? Tonight the winds of change are blowing wild and free. If I don't
Tausch, before we talk to Evan, I'm curious, because I just posted this on Twitter. Have you guys ever ridden in a car before? Have you ever driven with him as your co-pilot?
Yes. Yeah, we Ubered together, and I jammed in next to him.
So never as the
no, never as a driver.
Never in
I would have
in
no,
Bart's role.
I'm going to tell you this. Evan and I would have no problem because he would be probably just as ornery and demanding as I would be. So I think Evan and I would be great. I'll say this. If Evan wanted to do a road trip of 5 to 6 hours, I'd do it in a heartbeat. We could video the whole thing. I'd be on board with that. And we just talk different sports topics. We could do a remote in a car, and I would be more than happy to do that.
Okay. I'm eager to get his position on this. 5 to 6 hours. So, basically a digi
to
only.
St. Louis. Yeah, if he wants to come to watch Max's hockey in St. Louis, we'll throw him in a Chevy Tahoe. He'll sit up front. He'll navigate. We'll probably listen to some sports talk. We'll critique, and we'll have discussions on whatever he wants. And if he wants, when he comes for the Killers concert, that's going to be at Summerfest.
Yeah, June 27th.
We can figure out a way we could do something there, yeah.
All right, Evan, good morning. Are you on board with riding with Tausch and serving as his navigator? Because I'm guessing you have other things going on. You did not tune in to the first 30 or so minutes of the program, so you may or may not know what you'd be signing up for. Good morning.
I have no idea. Hi, Jason, Mark, Hunter, Jesse, of course, out. Not a big time in sports. So I am a little confused on this because I was in our post-show meeting, and then just Hunter gave me a call. So I'm aware of the Killers concert because Tausch texted me frantically yesterday. I didn't know my role within the Killers concert for Tausch specifically.
All right, so I think if you want, Evan, I will handle, like you handled Tornado. I'll call Joe Thomas and see if he can get us tickets to the Killers like you did at Tornado. But are you in for the concert?
Well, as long as there's not a catch with whatever you're about to say next.
There's no catch. There will be no catch.
Well, okay. So I did look yesterday at flights. I looked yesterday after you told me about this. First of all, to your credit, you told me about this. I searched it online. It was nowhere. So somehow Tausch actually had this first, believe it or not.
It's our fans are the ones that sent it out to us, which is
that's
fantastic.
Amazing. Yes, that is awesome.
No, it distracted me for the full last hour of the show. I was trying to figure out how I could take all that stuff.
It did improve your mood, though.
It did improve my mood.
Why do we have to go to Joe Thomas to get tickets to the Killers? I don't understand.
We don't. I'm saying Jason thinks Joe got you the Tornado room reservation, and that's how this. When Joe joined us.
No, Joe was in.
I know he didn't.
I
know he didn't. I know. Yeah. I know. Okay. Well, anyways, Evan, the reason Jason asked you that is because I had a road trip this weekend with another parent and one of the hockey players. And all I asked for was for that person. I drove. I picked the rental car up. I couldn't have been more hospitable. All I said was, hey, can you, because the screen didn't work where you plug it in and whatever that's called, Apple Maps or whatever it is, can you navigate us to the hotel and to the hockey rinks? And you would have thought that I had asked him to, solve world peace. And so Jason thinks I'm an incredibly difficult person to ride with, and I am.
Tyrannical.
In fairness, I am. My wife thinks I am. I said you and I would be fine. Do you want to go and do like a 5-hour road trip with me?
Okay, so I have a couple of follow-ups on this. First of all, why, if you're taking your son and some of his teammates to hockey, are you renting a car?
Well, we were in Dallas. That's why.
Oh, I didn't know you were in Dallas. Okay,
Key detail. That's an important one to
I
include.
left that out. That wasn't dazzling.
In my head, he's going from Madison to Appleton. I'm like, why the hell are you renting a car? You own a car now.
You don't need to rent a car from Madison to Appleton. That's fair.
Okay, next.
Any other follow-ups?
I was thinking back. There was a great moment where Tausch and I took an Uber. And the Uber, and I'm 6'1", and how tall are you, Tausch? 6'4", 6'5"?
I'm 6'3" and some change.
Okay. The two of us took an Uber in probably one of the smallest cars I have ever been in my entire life. And we're both sitting in the back, and literally we had to duck in the car that we were in. It was one of the most painful experiences ever. So I have been in a car with Tausch. We did
But
laugh.
it was fun. We had laughs.
It was fun.
And
It
that's when I got snubbed by Russ. So it all comes back together.
So
That was
Tausch
the Russ
and I
snub.
are in the tiniest. Think about the Fiat or whatever. Remember in Italian Job, the movie where they had those little cars? It's like Tausch
Mini
and I in the
Coopers.
back of it. Yeah, Mini Coopers. Thank you. Trying to climb out of the car. Once we finally climb out of the car, Russell Wilson pulls up next to us in a G-Wagon, gets out with sunglasses, and doesn't even
Lot of
acknowledge
room.
Tausch's existence.
A lot of room in that
I
car,
happen
too.
to believe, and I'm just being honest on this, I think if Tausch and I went on a road trip together, it would be probably one of the funniest 5-hour spans of my life. I would thoroughly enjoy it.
We're going to do it.
And
All right.
where are we going to go? Where are we going? From where to where?
I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. I'd love to come up and visit your place in the Hamptons. That would be fun. So we could – I don't care where we fly into. We just Well, once you get your Hampton place, we'll do that. All right, Evan, I got to move the ball forward here.
I'd love to visit your Appleton place that we have to take a rental car to.
Is it possible that Evan's vision of what it would be like with you in a car for 5 hours and the reality will not quite be the same?
we would die
We'd have
of
a
laughter
blast.
the entire time.
There's a lot of great stuff. All right, Evan.
Wait, Tausch.
What's
you know what I can see us doing?
Yep.
Literally.
Name an old
assuming we have
catcher from the 80s.
No. Oh, Charlie O'Brien, your turn. So
Ron Hasse.
I think that what we would do in that spot, Mackie Sasser, is probably go out there and make an insane amount of prank calls to people, Darren Dalton. And we would just make these calls, and then we would just prank people nonstop and do bits the entire time. And we would think it's funny, and no one else would think it was funny.
Would you call Terry Steinbach?
Oh, good one.
Yeah, he was good. He was good. He was definitely good.
Gary Carter, R.I.P.
Hall of Fame.
Ed Hearn, backup.
One quick question before we move off this, because Tausch wants to move the ball forward because he's the Kansas City Chiefs of people riding with him. He demands greatness. Evan, do you realize that during that 5-hour drive, you will not be allowed to stop to pee?
I'm okay with that.
Okay. Just an important.
Yeah, like when you start, you got to push yourself.
Yes,
You got to push yourself. You go to the bathroom beforehand, and you push yourself.
Yep. Yeah, we're on the same page. Evko, why do you think so many people, and for a reference standpoint, we're about the same age. You're a little bit younger. Jordan with the Bulls they won 2 3-peats. They won all the time. And universally, I think people were rooting and loved the Bulls. There are some factions of fan bases that didn't. But on the whole, Tiger Woods, on the whole, people love to see greatness. Roger Federer, on the whole, people love to see greatness. Why is it this Chiefs team, which I would argue what they're doing, if they close this up and get 3 in a row, would be something, I mean, just unbelievable. Why is it that there's not the universal love for this group?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I think Ben Brust must have written that for you as I see he's writing us now. Ben, you have enough to do. Don't try to program.
Yeah, Ben,
this
go
show.
sell
You're
some
not
stuff.
that-
Let's get to work.
Ben,
What are you doing?
Ben, you're not that good at any of your jobs. Be fair, okay? Anyway, so
harsh criticism.
Fair though.
Oh.
Fair, right?
We'll see.
I mean,
right, go ahead,
Ben
continue.
Brust on a road trip with us. I'm already annoyed at the thought of Ben Brust on this road trip with us. Anyway,
No, he ain't making that trip. No, Joshy DiMaggio make that trip with us.
Josh is too smart. The thing is, like, I don't want to feel bad about myself or badly about myself. Josh is arguably the smartest person that works at ESPN
Interesting,
Wisconsin
too.
or anywhere.
I get all my book
Yeah,
recommendations from
smart.
Josh DiMaggio. I don't know if you knew that. Fun
Me
fact.
too. I loved Cat in the Hat. Excellent. Anyway, so I think that when we look at greatness and we look at dynasties in sports, all right, and we've kind of jumped into this on Unsportsmanlike. I think that there's 3 categories. There's I love this group, I hate this group, or I'm neutral on this group. I think the Chiefs, believe it or not, are more neutral than love or hate. Let me explain. Love, you brought up, absolutely. MJ, Bulls, everyone loved them. Hate, Patriots dynasty. I would bring up the Warriors to some extent. People hated them when Durant went there. I think a lot of people, not that the Heat were a dynasty, but that 4-year run, I think people started hating them because of the
Lot
big
of
three.
hate.
You know, a lot of hate. There's the neutral dynasties. The San Antonio Spurs won 5 titles in 15 years. No one has an opinion on them. Maybe the smallest amount of years, but kind of dynastic, that literally no one has an opinion on, are the San Francisco Giants, who within the last decade plus won 3 World Series titles in 5 years, and I don't know anyone that has an opinion on them. It's unbelievable. I actually think that the Chiefs are more in the neutral category because it's almost like people want to hate them. They take a step back and they're like, what do I actually hate? How do I hate Mahomes?
Yeah.
How do I hate Reed? How do I hate Kelsey? Because even if you're like, oh, he's too celebrity, what do you think, that guy doesn't play his butt off? I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
So I don't think I think it's people want to hate them. They don't give you a reason to hate them, and thus they're in that neutral category.
So then what reason have the Chiefs given for people to hate them other than winning?
Nothing. I just said that.
Well, there's a lot of people that hate them.
People
then.
think it's fixed. Yeah.
That's just ridiculous that it's fixed. Give me a
Well,
break.
I'm not arguing that, but that's
My
what
thought
it
on
is.
that. My thought on that is any great team in any sport ever is shown on television and heard on radio more than non-great teams, and thus we dissect every move in a way that we don't. Like, I'm making this up, but if I told you right now, the team that benefited from the most calls this year were the Tennessee Titans, just for argument's sake.
Mm-hmm.
Now that would be odd considering they had the worst record in the league. But no one would then say, "Yeah, you're so right about that," because no one watches them. Everyone watches the Chiefs. So one gray area call feels like the league is rigging it in their favor because you just watch it more.
So then, as someone who loves Belichick and loved the Patriots, you obviously know that there were plenty of people who hated them. At least you could argue the Deflategate, or like, what's the difference between them and the Chiefs in terms of how people feel publicly about their programs in your estimation?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. So here's what it is. I think the Patriots were fine being villains and leaned into it more so than the Chiefs are at this point. And obviously there are the controversies that you mentioned, the Deflategate, which was completely made up. I don't want to get into that now. Spygate. Belichick is not voluntarily giving you smiles all the time. Andy Reid does, as we know. Mahomes is great. Like Mahomes is amazing because remember for a while, ridiculously, people are like, "Oh, Aaron Rodgers, most talented guy in the league, and I take him over Tom Brady." Okay, good luck on that one. But now, like Mahomes has taken over the category of best winner in the league and most talented in the league. He has no comp. He's taken over both. Like there's not people fighting over him. You know what I'm saying? There's no like, what's the counter? What are you gonna pick Josh Allen or Lamar over Patrick Mahomes? That's crazy.
No.
So
no.
I just think they've settled every argument, Jason, and there's no arguments with them. Like what are we debating? Who's the best coach in the NFL right now?
Andy Reid.
Best coach in the NFL? Okay, Andy Reid. Who's the best quarterback in the NFL?
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes.
All right, like there's no debate.
Best defensive coordinator in the league, Jeff Hafley.
Spags.
Okay. Evan, you said something very interesting and provocative yesterday on your show on Sportsmanlike.
I know.
5
to
9
what was it?
Here. You think the Buffalo Bills should move on from Sean McDermott, and I think people think it's crazy. Explain what you said yesterday, why you think that should be the case.
Okay, so sometimes coaches are really good, but time has kind of run out.
Doug
or
Collins.
They're not good. Doug Collins, Phil Jackson. The one that's way more known. The one that is lesser known that I don't know why because I'm weird. I just thought about was Dwayne Casey. Jason and I were talking about this off the air last week, just chopping up Dwayne Casey.
Raptors.
Raptors. Dwayne Casey.
We were driving together.
Yeah, just driving, just sharing some Dwayne Casey. Hey, remember him back in Kentucky in the day? So Dwayne Casey, for those who are unaware, which is everyone, was a really good coach with the Toronto Raptors when they had Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. And every year, they seemingly lost to LeBron. They're like, we can't beat this guy. They ultimately make the decision to move on from Dwayne Casey. And they don't do this whole big search. You know what they do? They say, you, sitting next to him, we think you're going to be better at continuing what he started than he was. And that guy's Nick Nurse, who's now the coach of the Sixers. They promote the assistant. Now, granted, there's context. They traded for Kawhi Leonard. LeBron went to the Lakers, right? The Warriors got banged up in the finals. But nonetheless, they changed it up, some different philosophies, and they won a title. This is not to say that Sean McDermott doesn't deserve to be a head coach. He should be the coach of the Saints right now. They should just hire him blindly, like if he's available. But I'm just wondering whether or not, when Josh Allen has to do this over and over and over again, if you're seeing the same person leading you every time, is it, well, what's the result going to be? Why not flip it up a little bit and continue what they started, but promote Joe Brady to be the head coach, the offensive coordinator?
Jason, follow up
crazy?
to that whole point. Jason, follow up to that. I thought it was a profound point. Should the Packers have done that after Green Bay lost to Arizona, when you're doing the same thing? You have the gut wrench against Seattle, then you go to Arizona and it falls apart. And Atlanta, should they have, the Packers have said, you know what, Mike McCarthy, you got us to a certain point. We need something new for this second window of Aaron Rodgers' career.
Yeah, I think there were a lot of people that were saying that after they lost the Seattle NFC Championship game. Right there, we were not a show yet, but that was a big talking point. Also, I didn't realize
you
that
refer to that as the good old days, right? The pre-Tausch days. Yep, go ahead.
The green and gold today. I also didn't realize that Dwayne Casey was named the NBA Coach of the Year and then fired days later. So,
and they won a title after that.
Yeah. I have to admit.
Wait. So, question on that for both of you, because I don't know this like you do. Who was on McCarthy's staff at that time that would have been the comp in this?
Yeah, I don't think there was someone. If we say 2014, I don't think there was someone that would have been the Nick Nurse in this
Ben McAdoo
equation.
Ben McAdoo would have been it.
But that's
Tom
tough
Clements.
in the results because he went to the
Giants, led him to a playoff, didn't he?
Ben McAdoo is not widely considered a big-time coach. Let's be honest. Okay, so that's not. And now, listen. Maybe he would have been if he just was named Packers coach, right? Because Packers coaches are way more successful than Giants coaches have been recently, as we know. But that's part of the comp. See, when I have suggested what I just said, and I said it to Orlovsky yesterday, and I said it to Schefter today on Unsportsmanlike, and like this is not one of these. I don't believe in what they're doing because they both have said to me, "Well, you're going to fire Sean McDermott." It's not that I think that he's bad. I think some of his decisions are pretty poor. I got to be honest. I just don't know how you keep doing. Like, how do you keep doing that, Jason? You would know. How did Rodgers keep getting back up off the mat, or was it hard for him after you lose so many times in almost games? And by the way, with Hurts getting to the Super Bowl, by my count, 7 quarterbacks since Rodgers came into the league made it to the Super Bowl more than he has.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how he kept doing it. I think if we're being honest, he was increasingly frustrated with Mike. At the same time, I think after his experience in New York, I think there's also the mentality of sometimes the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. And you can always get worse if you make that change. How many
That's
teams
like one of the main reasons that Tausch never wanted to work with Ben Brust. True, yeah.
A lot of Brust talk today.
Well, he did text us during the show.
I don't like him. Yeah, I don't like him texting us during this spot. It bothers me.
Okay. It's distracting.
Yeah. By the way, since
You
you're
agree,
yes, since Tausch is our NBA guy, do you know who was the Raptors coach before Dwayne Casey?
Do I or does he?
Well, I want to see if he does. I'm guessing you probably do, which is ridiculous that you know this.
Give me the years that they were coaching.
In early June 2011, the Toronto Raptors decided not to pick up the option on this coach's contract, which led to Casey getting the job.
I don't.
Evan?
I'm actually kind of stumped on it. The Raptors, it was a full-time coach at that point?
Yeah. Jay Triano?
Oh, Jay Triano, yep. He's Canadian, I believe.
Well, he was coaching a Canadian team.
Yeah. Well, no, that doesn't make you Canadian.
No, I understand. Evan, before you call Ben Brust and have a further conversation.
Wait, by Jason's logic, Matt LaFleur from Green Bay. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Very much so, yes.
Wow, Luke Fickell from Madison. This is good.
Philippe
Philippe
Alou, when he was managing the Montreal Expos, clearly
from
Canadian.
Montreal.
Clearly Canadian, also a beverage. When you talked to Dan Orlovsky, did he mention anything about being the Packers' next quarterbacks coach?
I have hinted at that with him. I have gotten
he'd be
the sense.
good?
I think he knows football inside and out, and I think
Yes.
that he works his butt off. I could tell you. Let me tell you this about Dan. So when Dan Orlovsky is at the Seaport where we do our show from, in between hits, he's not like hanging out. He literally stands at this little table by the entrance where like they literally leave books that people send in for promotion, and he's sitting there on his computer watching tape in between every single appearance he makes. He is
That's the
obsessed
guy I want coaching my quarterback.
with scouting football and breaking down football. Like there have been many times where I have sat there in the green room with some of the great analysts that ESPN has and just shooting the you know what. I have never seen Orlovsky do that. I've never seen him hanging out with anyone other than his laptop analyzing tape.
So then my follow-up question would be, because you obviously talk to him on the air plenty, do you think then his interpersonal skills with the people he'd be coaching would be effective as well?
Yeah, because he is really supportive of like teammates. So one of the very first, I would say, public endorsements our show ever got was him putting out a big tweet about us. He texts me and communicates with me during the show at times. I mean, much better than Brust, obviously.
It's just kind of what I was going to ask.
The way I see him with people, because he presents on purpose a quirky, way about him, I've seen him get along with everyone. Like, he clearly has a rapport from Shannon Sharp to Christopher Mad Dog Russo. And those two, breaking news, not exactly the same personalities. So I cannot sit here and tell you, I have no idea if he's going to be a good football coach. I would assume he would be. I know he's one of the most liked guys around there.
Do you get the inkling that he wants to?
Oh, yeah. Okay. You don't even have to get it from me. Look at his replies on Twitter. Anytime anyone puts out there, Dan would be good, and he does like the prayer emoji.
It just seems like it'd be
why
a good time for him.
Why specifically to the Packers? What I don't know is a LaFleur tie.
Because they talked to Matt LaFleur talked to him a couple off seasons ago about coaching. So there's a relationship there. So
I mean, I think he's been honest about I think he's got a rapport with Sirianni, but obviously their coaching staff is intact right now, and I think they're busy. But I think that that's always one to keep an eye on. I would think, but I don't know.
All right, Evan. Before we let you go, we've got a question in our live chat on the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channel from Jalen.
Okay.
And I think this is a really good question that I wish I would have thought of when we were having this conversation, honestly. If you advocate for the Bills to fire Sean McDermott, which I know you made your position clear, it's not saying he's a bad coach, then is there an argument to be made that the Packers should fire Matt LaFleur?
After next year that we have this exact conversation. That's what we've done on your show. We have discussed the fact that we are 1 year away from asking the question as to whether or not he is like Sean McDermott. Here's the difference, though, and there is a big difference. I don't believe, despite the Eagles getting to the Super Bowl twice in 4 years, I don't believe there is a barrier between LaFleur/Love and the Super Bowl like there is with McDermott and Allen, because one is in the conference with Mahomes and the other is not.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of these. I'll throw you another for a loop on this one, and Tausch will love this idea. Who's actually closer to winning a Super Bowl? Let's just call it in the AFC right now. Is it the bad teams that you feel like have good future quarterbacks, or is it the good teams that are in their prime competing with the Chiefs? In other words, I'll just use the team I root for. If I told you one of these two teams is going to win a Super Bowl first, Buffalo or New England, where are you going to go? And not that New England is even in the same realm as Buffalo, but it's Buffalo's window coinciding with New England's, where New England's window is when Kansas City starts to slip.
Right. Yeah.
Correct answer is Baltimore. That's the correct answer.
Explain, because why would Baltimore be different than Buffalo?
Well, I just think Lamar Jackson and what they do is different, and I just believe that they'll get their defense right quicker than what Buffalo does. Buffalo's defense was not good this year. They just weren't. And you saw the analogy that Damian Woody said, and I don't know if it was on your show or if it was on Get Up, is so perfect. Patrick Mahomes is Tiger Woods. He is going to play at a certain level. He is also going to force you to either come up to that level or try to get there, and you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone and do things that you normally don't do. Josh Allen was rattled in the beginning of that game. Sean McDermott was rattled. They felt it. They felt the Sunday red. It's so good. It's exactly right. I don't know, under their current pretenses, they're going to have to change some stuff up. I don't think Baltimore does. I think Lamar Jackson just has to clean up a little bit. I think Buffalo needs a full-on, total mindset difference. I don't feel that way with Baltimore.
If there was only someone that was available all year that was unfazed by a big moment that they could have had lead that team.
Bill Belichick.
I didn't say it.
Oh, Buffalo would be crazy to not bring Bill Belichick in.
It's just freaking
Buffalo
laughable.
should have Bill Belichick on speed dial.
I love that we say speed dial. Isn't everyone on speed dial? Well,
Hey,
I mean,
Evan, when you're doing a radio show, you want to get Evan. Hold up a second. When you're on radio, here's a thing I learned from the great Stu. You have to paint a picture. If I say just click a phone button, if I say speed dial, it's like quick, bam. That's the way you want to describe it.
All of us have children, right? Do you think if we said to our children, do you know what speed dial is?
Is Bill Belichick a child? Is Bill Belichick
but I'm
a child?
just curious. All of us do this. Oh, we have this person on speed dial. Every person in your life is on speed dial. Although,
potentially,
did you hear, we had Bobby Marks on last week, the NBA front office insider. He told an unbelievable story. Bobby Marks admitted on our show, you can find it at Unsports ESPN on Twitter. He admitted on our show that he recently had a conversation with an NBA GM. He didn't have the number saved in his phone and didn't realize who the GM was until after he hung up.
Yeah, I can see that.
Think about that for a second.
I can see that.
You can see that?
Yeah.
Is he like asking questions, like really general questions, hoping that he'll say something that tips him off?
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's the thing, Jason. I thought the same thing that you thought. I'm just like, wait a minute. I know enough about the NBA that if I could call Bobby and just be like, hey, we're thinking of trading Chris and Bobby. I don't know if we want Butler, maybe Levine. Does he think I'm John Horst? Just because I have his number?
We don't want Butler, I can tell you that.
Do you not want Butler if it's Middleton, Portland, and Connaughton in a three-way deal? Okay.
I don't want Butler.
Do you want Levine? Do you want Levine?
I'll have to think more about Levine. I just have been hearing the Butler rumors, and I'm out
call
on that.
Bobby Marks and have a conversation about it.
I'll put him on speed dial.
Speed dial. Dallas. Who shot JR? We are timely indeed on this program. Evan.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. This is the best 25 minutes of your show every week. Is it not? That's what everybody says.
Bulaga's pretty good. That's exactly.
Bulaga. I mean, well, that is true. It's you need an offensive lineman perspective on this show because you don't have one.
Yes, very insightful. Evan, thank you.
That's a low blow, but fair.
Enjoy your ride with Tausch. Yes, good luck with that. It is 10:05. The 9 o'clock hour is not even over yet. More Wilde and Tausch. Straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. A college football shakeup? The Xavier Lucas Wisconsin drama raising concerns in the new era of NIL agreements. CBS Sports insider Shahan Jayaraja joining the Jump Around digital show. His big question on the matter?
How far does everyone want to take this? Because it could just be a warning shot. This could turn into a huge lawsuit where potentially at issue would be whether the idea of a player being able to leave a rev share agreement would be on the table. It would be a huge precedent to set for the future of college football.
The Jump Around streaming Thursdays at 12:30 on ESPN Madison's YouTube channel.
Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at PellaWI.com.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. Zero sugar, zero carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
We shopped at Chalmers because my husband wanted to get me a larger diamond in my engagement ring.
The folks at Chalmers said, well, we could just make it like this and we could do these things. Really just basically decided that there wasn't any place else we wanted to shop.
And not only did they create this new engagement ring for me with this gorgeous center stone, they also rehabbed this other ring, and I am beyond pleased.
Her favorite thing to do now is to walk around and show her hands and have people comment on it.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
It's New Year, new deals at Metro Ford of Madison. With 204 new vehicles in stock, Metro Ford is your home for the best selection and the biggest savings of 2025. Enjoy the 2024 Ford Escape with 1.9% APR for 66 months, $15.97 per thousand borrowed. Or get the future of driving with the 2024 Ford Mach-E at 0% APR financing for 72 months. But hurry, these deals end February 3rd. Visit Metro Ford in person or online at metrofordofmadison.com and drive off in the new Ford of your dreams today.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Attention Wisconsin Badgers volleyball fans. Join head coach Kelly Sheffield, Love Madison star Sarah Franklin, and ESPN Madison Tuesday evening at North and South Seafood and Smokehouse in Verona for a special Wisconsin volleyball celebration. Starting at 6 o'clock, announcer John Audius leads a Q&A, followed by opportunities for pictures and autographs with Sarah Franklin and Kelly Sheffield. It all starts with Jim, Matt, and Molly broadcasting live from 4 to 6. Celebrate Wisconsin volleyball Tuesday night at North and South Seafood and Smokehouse in Verona with Sarah Franklin, Kelly Sheffield, and ESPN Madison.
The Milwaukee Bucks, the Portland Trailblazers.
Gets it to Giannis, lobs up top. Lopez plunges it through with a two-hand dunk.
Tonight on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN.
Give him hell, tender hands, gonna live life till we're dead. Give me scars, give me pain, then the same me.
Thanks as always, Devin Cohen, the best 25, or in today's case, almost 35 minutes of our show, except for when we have Bulaga on. I do not want to turn this into the Packers should fire Matt LaFleur conversation, because I don't believe that. And I don't believe that the Buffalo Bills should fire Sean McDermott. But am I guilty of being afraid of change, which I definitely am in my personal life as well as my professional life, to suggest that that's a wrong-headed idea? Because there were those folks that suggested it about Mike McCarthy, and you can always do worse, but maybe you could have done better. You could definitely do worse than Matt LaFleur, but maybe you could do better. I'm not a risk taker. If I have a good coach, I want to believe that I will put together a roster that will allow that coach to win me a Super Bowl. Is that just lazy, fearful thinking? Because I would have never made the argument that Buffalo needs to try something other than Sean McDermott.
So Sean McDermott, if he lived the way you just said, he would have gotten fired last year. He changed offensive coordinators mid-season, got rid of Ken Dorsey, brought in Joe Brady. And Buffalo changed their tune. Now Joe Brady is, getting interviewed for different jobs. Obviously New Orleans is the last spot left. But there is something, especially when you keep getting to certain spots and you get roadblocked. You have to do something different. Guys aren't going to continue to hit their head against the wall and say, well, maybe this time it'll work. Maybe this time. You get a couple of those. And then you have a different group. Like, the NFL is not, it is, if you're afraid of change, you're in the wrong business. Your roster overhauls 25, 30% every year. So I just look at what Buffalo is doing. They're going to be in a similar spot to what San Fran had to deal with without actually getting to the Super Bowl. And I'm telling you, mentally, it is a hard thing to keep a locker room full of guys, core guys that have fought and grinded and keep falling short. Doesn't mean Sean McDermott can't do it, but he knew last year he needed to make a change. I don't know what they're going to do on the defensive coordinator side of it. Obviously, they have to get better on that side as well, like a lot of teams do. But you only have so much runway as a head football coach. Bill Parcells said it, about 10 years. He bounced around a bunch. Your message gets a little stale. You have to keep reinventing things and showing your guys that what you're doing and evolving works. And if it doesn't, you're going to lose guys. And you can't afford to lose a ton of guys. If you do, you can't win at a big-time level, and that's what Buffalo, that's what Green Bay had to deal with. And Green Bay did it. They made a change, and it's worked. But it has not gotten them to the top of the heap. I agree. Matt LaFleur is a good football coach. This is a big year for him. A really big year for him. And if things go south, that hot seat his seat is not hot, but he's got the one little red button. Like, it's warmed up. It has not been warm the entire time he's been here. For the first offseason, I think it is now at least turned on. And as the season unfolds, if things don't go well, that puppy will be, it ain't going to be planes, trains, and automobile hot, but it'll be warm.
Griddle marks. Sean McDermott became their coach in 2017. His playoff history: lost to the Jaguars in the wild card round, lost to the Texans in the wild card round, lost to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship, lost to the Chiefs in the divisional round, lost to the Bengals in the divisional round, lost to the Chiefs in the divisional round, lost to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship.
Yep.
For the last X number of years, it's largely been a Chiefs problem, and maybe it's just that they are in the wrong era. And if he wasn't having to go against a team that's been to 7 straight AFC Championship games, maybe it's circumstantial. Maybe it's not because he's not doing something. Maybe he's just going up against one of the great dynasties, and it's a tough break to be in the league at this time.
I'm certainly glad that the great innovators and others just say, wow, it's just not, Nikola Tesla versus whoever else was Edison. Oh, they're too good. I'm just going to give in. Whatever. I'm going to give in. That's not how guys think. It's not. What do we have to do? And sometimes it is different. We got to change it up. And it doesn't always work. But if Buffalo's just going to sit here and be resigned to the fact that they're never going to beat Kansas City and can't beat Mahomes,
that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you resign yourself to that. I'm saying that maybe it's not the head coach who is the reason why you're not beating them.
Is it easier to get rid of a coach or a full roster?
You know the answer to that.
Well, I'm asking you.
I know the answer to that. It's easier to get rid of a coach.
Andy Reid couldn't get over the hump in Philly. He was a great coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
It got stale, and everybody needed a change, and it worked out great for everybody involved. Change isn't always bad. It's scary. You're out there. Sometimes it's necessary. And if you don't jump on it and go and put yourself out and try to do something different, because how does that old saying go? When you expect different results and doing the same thing, it's insanity. They're trying to do some different things, but the bottom line is, with Sean McDermott leading, they're a jittery bunch. They were jittery the other night. Kansas City ain't. You better find somebody, and I'm kind of on board with it.
Yeah.
You have your window is tightening. Josh Allen's 29. If I'm the Buffalo Bills, and next year, I'm not doing anything this year. Sean McDermott's back. They get off to a slow start, and it gets to be October, November, and they're middling. I'm calling North Carolina. I'm saying, Bill, we need you to get over the hump. Get in here. Let's see what happens.
All right, we need to get to the 10 o'clock hour. Again, you are more fearless than me. But I would have never fired Mike McCarthy. And maybe the Packers have another Super Bowl had they done that. I don't know. Maybe they also spiral, and so many teams that get the hiring wrong end up never figuring it out. The Bears fired a guy that went 10-6 and took them to a Super Bowl several years earlier, and then they never got their blank together. And now they're hoping Ben Johnson, more than a decade after they moved on from Lovey, gets it fixed. So you're right. Maybe the change gets you where you want to go, or maybe you become the Bears. That's a possibility too. What you don't want to be is, if you've been injured in an accident, going with one of these fly-by-night operations that you know you can't trust. You've got to trust the best, and the best, of course, is Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666. 414-276-6666. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Go to the website, gruber-law.com. Find out more about the firm, about all the great things they do in our communities, all the teams they support, but most importantly, that they're there for you, and all it takes is one call to get the process started. 414-276-6666. Time for the 10 o'clock hour. It'll start around 10:21. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand. The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Tuesday Night Hoops on Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania is where you can find the area's best high school basketball games all season long. Hi, it's Jesse Nelson. Catch star recruits, rivalries, and state championship contenders every Tuesday night. It's Tuesday Night Hoops on Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania.
Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania on 100.5 ESPN and streaming live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
This is Monte Ball.
Monte steps to the right, dashes, reaches, touchdown.
You listen to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
What is up, Madison? I'm Hunter Vaughn. Your Sports Center update is brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out at 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. Some coaching updates from the Green Bay Packers. First, Luke Getsy is returning to Green Bay as a senior offensive assistant. He was the offensive coordinator for the Las Vegas Raiders last season before being let go in the middle of the year. Also, in some coaching news, special teams coordinator Rich Bisaccia will be back for the 2025 season with the Packers. You can stay up to date on all things green and gold over at ESPNWisconsin.com. On to the NBA. The Milwaukee Bucks have won 8 of their last 10 games after a 125-110 victory over the Utah Jazz last night. Giannis had a 35-point double-double. Dame also scoring 35 points in the win. Milwaukee's back at it tonight at Portland. Tip-off is at 9 o'clock right here on Madison's home for Milwaukee Bucks basketball. Hour 2 of Wilde and Tausch starts right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. I want to get to Rich Bisaccia because that seems to be a hot-button issue for some Packers fans. But to put a bow on this conversation because I am a Matt LaFleur believer. I still think he's a good coach. I think he's going to spend this offseason figuring out a better way to take the good things that his quarterback does and the good things that his running back does and marry them up to be a more consistently productive offense in 2025. If that does not happen, we will be having this conversation next year that we just had about Sean McDermott, you think?
Yeah, I think if he, let's say Green Bay misses the playoffs, I think you're going to have serious conversations. I think if the same season plays out where you can't beat the big boys, you have a nice season, cute little season, but your offense isn't progressing, you're going to have a long, hard conversation, I believe.
The Packers' opponents for 2025, looking at the schedule. Their home games, and they have home and homes with their 3 division teams. Obviously, we have no idea what these teams are going to do in the offseason with free agency and the draft. There are plenty of teams that miss the playoffs one year and make it the next, so it doesn't really matter what these teams did this year. But the other teams on the schedule beyond the NFC North, the Eagles, the Commanders, the Ravens, the Bengals, the Panthers, the Cowboys, the Giants, the Browns, the Steelers, the Broncos, and the Arizona Cardinals. Those road games are the at Dallas, at the Giants, at Cleveland, at Pittsburgh, at Denver, at Arizona. So I don't think I would look at that and say, oh, it's going to be that much harder of a schedule than they face this year. But I do ask myself about this season when you look at the kind of year the NFC West had and the kind of year the AFC South had, how good they would have been had they been less fortunate with scheduling.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. Again, a big part of it is when you play them.
Sure.
Played the Rams without 2 of their best players.
Yep.
You know, there's always stuff that comes up, but until the Super Bowl or the big game, until the big game happens, and then you look at what happens in free agency, draft, etc. Nobody really knows. I would think Green Bay will be a favorite in the NFC again. I think everyone looks at this team as an ascending team. And I don't know offensively where you're going to base that off of when you watch the last month of the season. Now, it's all gone. It's done. That's the beauty of this. It is a reset. And I believe in Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, and the offensive line. I think the receiving core is going to have to get a lot better. And if they do that, you're going to be a lot more multidimensional, and you're going to be able to be better on offense. I think the defense showcased itself, but they got to prove themselves. So, I mean, right now, if you look at it, you say Green Bay will be back in the playoffs, and then we see Washington made a run. Just get in the playoffs, position yourself, and try and find ways to be more disciplined and understand what it takes to win playoff games. You've been in there now, even though you're a young team. You've had 2 years of that. You know what it takes to win, and you know why you lose. It's just, can you go out and execute the best way to find a way to win? And that's the thing we have to see if this team is learning as next season gets started.
Jim in the Berg on the Carbless talk and text line. Less is more. I don't think Matt LaFleur is running into hot teams. I just don't think he can beat good teams. I think he gets the pucker factor in the big games, and that is represented in how his team plays. Tausch, agree or disagree?
I don't know if I'd go that far. What I will say, and I've said this pretty consistently, I do think he has to pick his spots better. And not everything is the end of the world. Players look to their coaches, just like we as airline passengers look at flight attendants. If
or
it's
drivers
choppy
look
and
to
they're
navigators.
Fine, you just kind of want that steadying influence. And now occasionally there's times bust a clipboard, throw a iPad. Great. You want to be all irritated, that's fine. Don't be rash. Try and kind of have things. You want your team to play with composure, and you want your team to be able to handle adversity. You have to do that too. And it's not that I think Matt LaFleur is a hothead or anything like that, and it's not the easiest balance to find. I'm well aware of that. But he definitely needs to start skewing the other way a little bit more. As he's becoming more of a veteran coach and his team is getting more veteran, I think he needs that part. I don't think it's a pucker factor, as old boy just said. I think it's more of a consistency. Be consistent with what you're doing. Don't ride the wave. Not every call and not everything is the end of the world. Bad call, go back to your play sheet and overcome it. And you do that, you're going to be in a lot better case than firing stuff and being all, pouty. It just isn't, it's not what you're looking for.
Maybe, take a beat, have a meal, or perhaps have yourself a Coors Light and chill.
Chill would be good in certain circumstances, and when I'm chilling, it's Coors Light in my hand, brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and it's cold packaged, so it is made to chill. Born in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado, Coors Light is refreshing, it is crisp, and is only 102 calories. That's why it is Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
We'll get to Rich Bisaccia. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Looking for the most popular answer? What's the worst thing about Wisconsin winters? Gina Della from Pella.
Finding a sitter when snow closes school. Yay! It's the time of the year when we just want to be all warm and snuggly at home. And Pella helps make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside, with inviting doors to let friends and family in and beautiful, energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
It's the 2024 model closeout sale at Zimbrick Chevrolet Sun Prairie. Save $10,000 on a 24 Silverado RST Crew Cab 4x4. Save $2,000 on a 24 Chevy Trax LT, and save $12,500 on a 24 Silverado LV with 0.9% APR available. Plus, save $11,500 on a 24 Blazer EV RS. Hurry, these closeout deals won't last for long. Visit Zimbrick Chevrolet Sun Prairie and ZimbrickChevrolet.com for details. Offers end January 31st.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
I'm John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. We've been at the heart of many magical moments, from engagements to weddings to sweet 16s. It warms my heart to be a part of these moments for 40 years with people I consider family. With the highest standards and an eye for classic beauty, enjoy a warm boutique setting at Goodman's Jewelers, where integrity shines in every gem. At 220 State Street, Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store, Madison, since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Gold medalist and ESPN Madison foodie Matt Hamilton here to tell you about Metcalf's Market. As a proud Wisconsinite, you know I support local, and it doesn't get more local than fourth-generation, family-operated Metcalf's Market. Renowned for offering an extensive selection of local and premium quality foods, it's the best place to shop for me and my family. Where family tradition meets commitment to quality, sustainability, and supporting local communities, head to one of their locations today in Hilldale, near Westtown Mall, or Wauwatosa. Metcalf's Market. Bring local home.
The 2025 Wisconsin football schedule is here, and you should be too. Season tickets are on sale now, so don't miss your chance to jump around at Camp Randall Stadium this fall. Last year, 6 of 7 home games were sellouts, proof that there's nothing like game day with the Badgers. Secure your spot for marquee matchups against Ohio State, Washington, and Iowa, and enjoy the best value to see Wisconsin football in action. For more information and to get your season tickets, visit uwbadgers.com or call 1-800-GO-BADGERS.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
This is Madison's new home of Milwaukee Brewers baseball.
Churio, a high fly ball. Back, track, bye, baseball!
100.5 ESPN, your new home of the Milwaukee Brewers.
I'm not afraid of getting old, and I will hesitate from dying young. I see the light go past my shoulder.
All right, the YouTube chats, as we often see from the, as Jesse likes to call them, dwellers, are having their own show.
What are they talking about?
They're talking about Rich Bisaccia, which I agree with them. We should be discussing. He is back. He was going into the final year of his contract. He, as Tom Silverstein of the Journal-Sentinel first reported, signed an extension, so another year, so he's not a lame duck coordinator and assistant head coach. But there is some, I would say, vitriol.
Well, just wait, did they announce this? I thought Packers don't announce coaching.
They didn't. No, they did not. They still haven't announced that they signed Charles Woodson either, though, so...
What's Charles Woodson? Is he coaching safeties, or what did they sign him?
No, they still haven't announced that they signed him in free agency when you were his teammate. They never announced that. So, and it's true, they never did. It was never formally announced. We still joke about that to this day. The Rich Bisaccia contract will not be announced because he's just staying on. The Luke Getsy joining the staff as a senior offensive assistant, that's apparently his title, that will be announced when they have their full staff reconstituted. They have a new quarterbacks coach to hire, perhaps Dan Orlovsky. They have a defensive line coach to hire, which they have not done yet. So those announcements will be pending once the entire staff is set. Until that time, we do know, Tom does a really good job, and sources have confirmed his reporting, that Rich Bisaccia is back. He seems to generate diverse opinions. Well, maybe they're not that diverse. Maybe there's a lot of people that think he stinks and is overpaid. Where do you land on this?
I don't think he's had the impact we all hoped he would.
I think that's fair.
And then I also find out that he is in charge of, and correct me if I'm wrong, game clock management. He's there to help with
so
that
he
part too.
advises Matt LaFleur. If you watch the games, you see him. He's always right in Matt LaFleur's hip pocket. They're always next to each other on the sideline. And you see Matt LaFleur consulting with him somewhat regularly. He is the assistant head coach. So that would track.
Has he done a good job?
I mean, first of all...
That's a yes or no question.
Well,
in fairness,
he's done a mid job. Because because I always thought that the Anders Carlson experience was because of him, right? I mean, he had history with his brother, etc. So the fact that he did not push for Anders to get a second season made me curious as to if he was actually ready to give up on Anders earlier than other people were.
Does Anders Carlson get drafted if Rich Bisaccia is not the special teams coach?
No. I mean, Goody has drafted now. Just wait. Don't do...
Why are you always trying to stir stuff up, Jason?
I literally ask 2 yes or no questions, and I get that there's nuance with everything, but it's a pretty simple question, yes or no. He has a relationship with his brother. I'm guaranteeing you one thing, and this is what irritates me. Bill Polian, 20 years later, is like, oh, I had Tom Brady drafted in the first round. No, you didn't. And if Anders Carlson was the next Ray Wersching, I'm assuring you, old boy would be saying, yeah, I drafted him. It was me. So did he or did he not? Like, was he on the table advocating? Because using a 6th-round pick is a big deal on a kicker. I would not draft a kicker again. I wouldn't. I've come to your side of it. Let these guys go and learn somewhere else. Did Rich Bisaccia order the code Anders? Did he?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know, guys.
Because Goody also spent a 7th-round pick on a long snapper and spent a 5th-round pick on a punter who he gave up on. Both of whom he gave up on. So it would appear that track record-wise, Goody is willing to, in my opinion, squander valuable draft picks on specialists. So maybe he takes Anders Carlson anyway. But do I think Rich Bisaccia influenced let's say Goody was ready to pick a kicker. Do I think Rich Bisaccia influenced which kicker he picked? I do.
Okay. That wasn't that hard.
Had I not gotten, for those of you watching on the video stream, had I not gotten this, I would have said that.
I was frustrated that you didn't answer, and I didn't, for the record, didn't interrupt you, which is always a complaint people in the YouTube have. No interruption.
Starting to understand what it's like riding in a car with Tausch.
Okay, I'll just sit here and be a wallflower. It'll be a hell of a show.
No, you're definitely
Wallflower
not.
and Wilde. Oh, a hell of a show you guys got there.
A few interruptions.
The bottom line, and Jason, it's just something that is always irritating. These scouts and everybody, and we used to bust old boys' chops all the time about Jamal Reynolds. Oh, that was your pick, huh? Yeah. Okay. You're going to get some wrong.
Yeah.
Own it.
Right.
So, Rich, if you did it, own it. But then don't, oh, well, he didn't really advocate for him. Coaches aren't dumb. Coaches want to win. And if you help them win, they're going to be on your side. If they don't, they get rid of you. This isn't tiddlywinks. Like, you're not good, they cut you. They move on. I don't care if you're the nicest kid on the block. If you can't block somebody or you can't make a kick, you're gone. And then they'll say, well, Goody really wanted him, or I don't know. I mean, we had a collaboration. But I promise you this, and you see this at Packer Hall of Fame inductions all the time. If Sammy Seal found you, they're going to give Sammy Seal love. Sean Herrick, my guy. Shawnee Herrick's my guy. Okay? Guys believe in you. They want you to succeed because they're your guy. You understand what I'm saying?
I very much understand what you're saying.
He's not your guy. Just admit, hey, I like the kid. I had a good relationship with the family. Just own it. It happens. Nobody bats 1,000. Tony Gwynn didn't bat 1,000.
He did not, but he rarely struck out. So how many times in the history of the National Football League have you heard people say, yeah, I blew that pick? Other than Ron Wolf on the sideline. Exactly. He proves the point, right? I mean, the fact that he did that was incredible. Well, I guess I effed up that pick. Now, in fairness, we all could see it from the instant that Joey Jamison, drafted to be a punt returner, could not catch punts.
That makes it tough.
But how many times do you remember hearing Ted or Goody?
Kind of irritating. Ron didn't draft me in the 5th round and Jameson in the 7th, but that's another.
Some might say, exactly. But it made you the person you are today. But that's my point also about squandering picks on specialists. You, Donald Driver, Carrington Valentine.
Jason,
those are valuable
on your
picks.
side. You have swayed me, and that's why when Hunter said, "Oh, Tausch in the car ride," I am not some immalleable buffoon. I have strong opinions, but if someone brings me really good information and points of view, I am not closed off to listening. I hereby declare that the Green Bay Packers should not draft a punter, kicker, or long snapper ever again. I think
Great.
it's a smart move.
Snap.
Welcome to my team.
It's the right, because especially if you're in a mode of winning championships, I don't know of any team that's excited about starting a rookie kicker, because the bottom line is it ratchets up the pressure on that kid exponentially if you draft him. If he's an undrafted free agent, it's like Ryan Longwell versus Sean Conway. That was a
Brett Conway.
What's wrong with that? Brett Conway. You don't need to add more. Kicking in the NFL is a hard job as it is, pressure-packed. You add more layers of pressure, it doesn't help. So I am now on your team. And my point on the Rich Bisaccia thing is, has he improved this group? The answer is no. The special teams is not in a better spot than it was. It's not. Look at the DVOA or whatever that little reporting deal is. They're not better. And you're paying top dollar. You expect top dollar performance.
Yeah.
I don't fully understand the obsession. And you like Rich Bisaccia, right? Like you guys
I
get
do.
a little banter
We get
and
along
everything
great.
else.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm not seeing it. Tell me where I'm wrong.
So their coverage units, until they gave up the punt return against
Well, the
Chicago.
Titanic was a hell of a ship till it hit an iceberg. What are we doing?
Until it wasn't.
Well, they were great until Keyshawn Nixon fumbled away the opening kickoff in a playoff game. Okay. Well, the kicking was great until he missed a playoff kick. Okay. That's not come on.
All right. So and to your point, we fault Rich Bisaccia for all three of those things you just said. Definitely definitely the punt return. The punt return.
Here's the deal, Jason.
Bad coaching.
I'm not blaming Rich for missing a kick. But when you take on the assistant head coach responsibility, coaches know what they sign up for. You're judged on your units. Otherwise, what are you doing?
Right, that's how Jason
not Rich's
Rebrovich
fault
got
that they
fired.
only had 10 guys on the field. That's not Rich's fault that so-and-so had a block. Get him off you're accountable for your units. That's what you're doing.
I agree.
Was it Matt LaFleur's fault that somebody dropped the pass? No. But maybe it's Matt LaFleur's fault that he's still out there. That's the world we live in. It's a hard gig. Your accountability is there. It's one of the most accountable jobs in the world. You have millions of people that care. So, yes, it sucks. It's not fair. By the way, it ain't fair. But that's how you're judged.
Mm-hmm. You're right. My point was that up until they gave
one time, I mean, other than that game when
they went 16 games with a good punt coverage unit and a good kickoff coverage unit. They did.
What was the stats I sent you guys yesterday? What was that, Hunter?
I don't know. I'll look for those, and we'll talk about them next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott and Garrett and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers. The holiday season may be over, but that means Valentine's Day is approaching. It doesn't matter the occasion, birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, or if you're in the doghouse, or if you want to stay out of it, I recommend Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and in Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Happy New Year and happy new engagement. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. You have heard me talk about corporate, fundraising, and even casino events, but we are also amazing wedding DJs. Never cheesy and always the perfect fit for the perfect couple. Please let us help you narrate your wedding day love story while playing an amazing soundtrack that will rock your dance floor. Create lifelong memories of your one special day. Do it right and do it with celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because they never charge over the MSRP.
Outside in. That's what we call our Siding Unlimited showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. All the stuff defending the outside of your home against Wisconsin's weather displayed inside. Many siding options and colors, plus full display of Pella windows and patio doors, and roofing too. Wisconsin's own Siding Unlimited, 4-time National Pella Platinum Premier Contractor of the Year, and proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, awaits you inside our showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. SidingUnlimited.com.
Football season. Best time of the year and my favorite time of the year. This is ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. On game days, my favorite teammate is a cold carbless in my hand. Premium cocktails in a can made right here in the great state of Wisconsin. Maybe it's when I'm at the tailgate ahead of kickoff or getting ready at home for the game. Carbless is there. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and gluten-free. Carbless features classic cocktails like margarita, Paloma, and even Moscow Mule, and vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, lemon, and peach. Find it on your next grocery trip. Carbless. Less is more.
This message is sponsored by WisCaregiver.com. People across Wisconsin are enjoying the rewards, stability, and flexibility of a career in healthcare. Why not you? WisCaregiver.com gets you started. Choose between 2 great options. Become a CDCP, Certified Direct Care Professional, or a CNA, Certified Nurse Aide. Training is free, plus earn a $500 bonus. It's easy to start your new career. Learn more at WisCaregiver.com.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
Let's put a bow on Rich Bisaccia here. Rick Gosselin has not yet put out the rankings, but in his first year, Rich Bisaccia took the special teams units from 32nd to 22nd. Last year, 29th.
12th. Oh, so they regressed 7 spots.
This year, not yet reported, but I'm guessing it's going to be in that same area. Start the season with a rookie kicker who's missing a bunch of kicks. don't have any impact on your kickoff or your punt return units. As good as we all think Daniel Whelan might be, he finished 26th in net punting.
He wasn't as good as everybody kind of said he was.
Yeah. All right. Finished 26th in net punting. Didn't help to give up that 94-yard punt return for a touchdown on the trick play. That was not helpful to his average. So I'm guessing even though Brandon McManus came in and solved the kicking problem, the fact that they got very little to nothing out of their return game, their punter was good early.
Well, they're
not
finding
so great.
a new returner, right? Keyshawn retired from kick returns.
He has.
Like, right?
He did make that announcement. Yes.
I like that. Bold. It's a bold move. The bottom line is, I think Rich Bisaccia, if he's your coach, you're not mad. But if you're paying top dollar, I'm sure his extension, he's still going to probably be the highest or one of the highest paid coordinators, right?
Well, he does the game management stuff too, obviously.
I don't know if you're that excited about that. I just don't know. Like, I think he's been a head coach. There's a lot of stuff that you can lean on, but I don't think your group has gotten better.
Yeah, their kickoff coverage was good. Brandon McManus didn't have a lot of touchbacks. They were second in the league in starting field position for their opponents. So their coverage unit did a good job. But yeah,
good.
And again, you can't remove the Braden Narveson, the Narv dog period, but that will drag your grade down. He missed a ton of kicks.
That was Goody's fault. No, listen, that was Goody's fault. And in Goody's defense, he fixed it quickly.
Yeah, they finished 18th in field goal percentage, but if you take out Narveson, they finished second. So, again, that all counts. It all counts. But we just agreed that was on Goody. So, he deserves criticism.
It was on Goody, except for, old boy wanted Anders Carlson. I mean, that's the thing. You can mumble this thing around as much as you want. CYA, everybody. The bottom line is whoever's kicking is Goody's responsibility.
Yeah, and the punt return was bad. That was bad, and Rich Bisaccia owns that. That is his fault for not preparing those guys for that play. All right, we will move on from Rich Bisaccia. We got plenty more to get to. And we still have another segment left in the 10 o'clock hour, which we will do next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
You're listening to Madison's home for Milwaukee Bucks basketball.
Lillard, three-pointer for the lead. It's Dame time.
Madison's home of Dame Time is 100.5 ESPN. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhoffels. Test Rest, a Beauty Rest black mattress for your chance to win a dream vacation to Hawaii. Queen Beauty Rest mattresses start at just $3.99 only at Steinhoffels. A college football shakeup? The Xavier Lucas Wisconsin drama raising concerns in the new era of NIL agreements. CBS Sports insider Shahan Jayaraja joining the Jump Around digital show. His big question on the matter?
How far does everyone want to take this? Because it could just be a warning shot. This could turn into a huge lawsuit where potentially at issue would be whether the idea of a player being able to leave a rev share agreement would be on the table. It would be a huge precedent to set for the future of college football.
Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at PellaWI.com.
As a bull rider, I prefer to do things single-handedly. That's why I love the UW Credit Union app. Doggy! It lets me check accounts, make transfers and more on the go. And if I need an extra hand, UW Credit Union has convenient local branches. Yippee! So, if you want simple mobile banking, mosey on over to UW Credit Union. They're here for every y'all. Federally insured by NCUA.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
This is our crew.
Fly ball right field. Hit a ton. We're tied.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball is coming to ESPN Madison.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Every pitch, every dramatic moment, every
fly ball left field. Back. Still back. It is up and gone.
Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers. 100.5 ESPN.
It's the 2024 model closeout sale at Zimbrick Chevrolet Sun Prairie. Save $11,500 on a 24 Blazer EVRS with 0.9% APR available. Save $2,000 on a 24 Colorado Crew Cab work truck. Save $5,456 on a 24 Silverado HD 2500 Crew Cab 4x4 with 3.9 APR available. Hurry, these closeout deals won't last for long. Visit Zimbrick Chevrolet Sun Prairie and ZimbrickChevrolet.com for details. Offers end January 31st.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
Searching for the perfect brunch spot this weekend? Look no further than the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company. Every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., indulge in the Great Dane sweet and savory brunch menu paired with mimosas, Bloody Marys, or one of their signature beers on tap. Enjoy at any of their 4 Madison area pubs, downtown, Hilldale, Fitchburg, or East Madison. Learn more and view the full menu at GreatDanePub.com/brunch. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's original brew pub since 1994.
Watch every ESPN Madison show live every day. Subscribe to ESPN Madison on YouTube for live video of every show and exclusive content. Just search ESPN Madison.
We'll kick off the 11 o'clock hour in a couple minutes. Hunter just sent me a really interesting read from the Packers Wire. And Tausch, I want you to think about this while I tell everyone about Bucks Plus. Who are the players that in your mind regressed during the 2024 Packers season? Give that some thoughts, because Zach Cruz has compiled. Now, this is based on PFF grades, which we both agree are not the end-all, be-all measure of how a player performed, but there's value in them. And taken with some context, I think they can be useful, so give that some thought. What you should be giving some thought to, especially with Gabe calling some of the Bucks games right now, with Dave Kane having slid over to the TV spots, you want to make sure that you're checking out Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room afterwards, get an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in just 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. If you missed any of the game or you just want to relive the biggest moments, Bucks in 6 provides game recaps every morning after. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis or the deep threes from Dame. They both scored 35 points apiece last night. And catch the comments post-game about what happened on the court. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. The 11 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Do you want to have more fun watching the NFL playoffs? Try playing Sleeper Picks. Just download the Sleeper app today and pick more or less on at least 2 players' projected stats. You can win up to 100 times your cash. For a limited time, Sleeper has a special offer. New users have to just play $5 and they'll receive $55 in free entries. Just download the Sleeper app today and use code BRAD, B-R-A-D. Must be 18 years or older. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms of use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
Hi, this is former Badger Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Thomas. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison. Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
What is up, Madison? I'm Hunter Vaughn. Your Sports Center update is brought to you by ESPN Madison's celebration of Wisconsin volleyball. Join Badgers head coach Kelly Sheffield, Love Madison star Sarah Franklin, who leads the league in kills, by the way, and ESPN Madison for a special night tonight from 6 to 7 at North and South Seafood and Smokehouse in Verona. The Green Bay Packers made some coaching staff moves yesterday. First, Luke Getsy is returning to Green Bay as a senior offensive assistant. He was the offensive coordinator for the Raiders before being let go mid-season. Also, special teams coordinator Rich Bisaccia will be back for the 2025 season with the Packers. You can stay up to date on all things green and gold related over at ESPNWisconsin.com. On to the NBA. The Milwaukee Bucks have won 8 of their last 10 games following a 125-110 victory over the Utah Jazz last night. Giannis and Dame both led the team in scoring with 35 points. Giannis also had a double-double last night. Hour 3 of Wilde and Tausch starts right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now, and it begins where I promised it would. The 15 Packers who regressed the most in 2024 based on their Pro Football Focus grades. And again, let me reiterate, I'm not saying that those grades are the end-all, be-all, but they are one measure by which you can look at players. Tausch, I asked you to give some thought to this, who you thought might be on the list. Who are the first few players that sprung to mind for you?
Jair
Alexander, not on the list.
Okay. Kenny Clark,
very much on the list. Kenny Clark, based on purely his grade number, his grade in 2023, 70.4, his grade in 24, 60. So a regression of 9.6 on his grade. Okay. But the eyeball test showed that to you, right? Not as impactful, not as consistent, no doubt.
Yeah, I don't know. I would think that Rashawn Gary will be on that list.
Rashawn Gary is also on this list. His regression was 6 points from his 2023 grade. He went from 66 pressures in 2023 to 49 in 2024. I would say that the arrow pointing the wrong direction the year after an ACL tear. You would have expected those numbers to be switched, would you not?
You would. So, he is on that list. Is Lucas Van Ness? I don't know how many reps you need to get. He regressed, I would think.
He did as well. He's right behind Kenny Clark on the list of regressions.
And for as much as we, will push back on Pro Football Focus, there is a value to it. The league, most of its teams pay Chris Collinsworth for their services. So, if they're not getting any value out of it, they wouldn't do it. So I don't want to completely poo-poo it. But also, Green Bay, correct me if I'm wrong, the only coaching switch that they've had is got rid of Rebrovich, right?
Correct. To this point, yes.
That tells you a lot. Mm-hmm. That tells you a lot, and especially coming from Matt LaFleur doesn't like firing people. We've seen this before. So that position, I think you'd probably go through the rest of that group. And I don't know, TJ Slayton felt like to me he got better. But did he regress also?
He has the greatest regression, again, based on grade, of any defensive player. A 62.3 grade last year, a 43 grade this year. Now, here's the weird thing, and Zach Cruz points this out in his piece on the Packers Wire. ESPN Analytics saw it like you did. Slayton was rated as the best defensive tackle in football based on run-stop-win rate by ESPN. Pro Football Focus gave him poor grades against the run. So I don't know what to do with that.
Well,
do you?
We'll find out when Green Bay decides that they're going to pay him.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to.
You don't? What makes you say that?
I don't. I think there is the good Lord only made so many big people, right? Ted used to talk about that, and Goody believes in that. I think you saw the frustration with him with the penalty he drew at the end of the Eagles game. I just think that they view him as a guy that is nice to have if you're paying him next to nothing because he's a fifth-round pick, but you're not going to pay someone who shows that kind of behavior big money. That's my guess. I don't know that for certain. That is me making an educated guess, but I think they probably let him walk.
So are there any defensive linemen that didn't regress?
Enigbare. No, Carl Brooks did. Enigbare's on the list too, although he regressed less than others. Basically, everyone regressed, including Preston Smith, who was down by 9 points at the time of his trade to Pittsburgh, and then was inactive in their playoff game.
Yeah.
Leading the way with the greatest regression statistically, Luke Musgrave.
Yeah.
That is, for me anyway, a big-time mystery. Like, I understand why...
he was injured. He was injured.
That was part of it, but in training camp, I remember doing the show from the sideline and saying to you, it doesn't feel like Luke Musgrave has done anything this camp. It's been all Tucker Kraft all the time. And remember the previous summer, we're talking about he's the fastest in terms of miles per hour when he runs. He's making plays left and right. And frankly, he played a ton as a rookie before he had his lacerated kidney. And Tucker Kraft barely played. They're like the Seinfeld episode where George and Elaine basically switch spots. Right? I'm becoming George. That's what's happened. And also Ben Sims also regressed, according to this Chipotle Ben.
Musgrave, I think, is a combination of all the stuff you just mentioned. I'm not giving up on him.
I don't think you should.
I think that's going to – it's obviously a huge year for him in his development, and you'll see where Green Bay looks at from a draft standpoint. If they go after a tight end, that kind of tells you probably Deuces B, because you know Tucker Kraft will be once he's extension eligible, he'll be a guy that they keep. You feel very confident about that. So the receiving position would be the other place I'd really question. I don't know how Jair didn't regress. He didn't hardly play.
Well, when he played, he seemed to play well, right? I mean, he had the pick 6 in Tennessee. I'll look up his grade here on Pro Football Focus while you continue to talk.
So the receiving spot, I don't know if there's anybody that elevated themselves.
Romeo dropped in his grade. Dontavion Wicks dropped, both in terms of his grade and the dropped passes. 9 drops, the highest drop rate in the league. Jair Alexander's 2024 PFF grade, 75.2, which is in the green category, which is good. He was 24th out of 223 cornerbacks they graded. He just didn't play 10 games.
So where did we have any wideouts that didn't regress?
We do not have Christian Watson on this list, but Bo Melton is on this list. Romeo Dobbs is on this list. Jaden Reed regressed, again, by only 1.6. He had 10 drops, according to PFF, so he actually overtook Dontavion Wicks for the team lead there. But his regression was less than compared to others on the list. So,
is that the most disappointing part of the season?
That Jaden Reed did not become a breakout star?
The receiving group as a whole.
Yeah.
The receiving group as a whole.
33 drops. Philadelphia in the Super Bowl, 7. That's a lot of difference there.
Big difference to overcome, and then you add the rushing yards and everything else. Where did Jordan Love regress, according to PFF?
He did. He did. I'm glad you asked. His grade dropped by 7.8. And this is what Zach writes here on the Packers Wire. After producing 37 big-time throws in 2023, Love only had 17 in 2024. That's a pretty big drop in big-time throws. His turnover-worthy play percentage.
Putting it in air quotes?
Because it says big-time throws in quote marks in Zach's story.
Okay, well, you could just say big-time throw. It's like Jerry Jones yesterday saying championship, a drought. 30 years is a drought, Jerry. It is. Green Bay's in a championship drought.
I could do a different hand gesture if you would prefer. His turnover
that bother me. Yeah,
his turnover-worthy play percentage, which again, turnover-worthy play is also in quotes. He was plagued by 26 drops on his throws, so that factors in as well. On the plus side, he averaged more yards per attempt, had a better adjusted completion percentage, and lowered his pressure to sack percentage. So, again, his grade dropped as well. If we're looking at all these names, they are all big-time names, most of whom got paid big-time money. Kenny Clark, Jordan Love, Rashawn Gary. Have we been soft on these guys and said that they progressed more than we actually should be saying that they progressed in 2024?
I don't know who you've talked to. I haven't thought any of them progressed. I thought the D-line...
I meant as a team as a whole.
I think there are some guys that did. It wasn't enough, and it wasn't the guys you needed to. You know, I tell you this all the time. When Ted came down to tell us that he had fired Mike Sherman, one of the only times he addressed us as a group, in essence, he basically said, you know, all this stuff, he put it on him, which I appreciated, but he also made sure it was very clear that the core players on his football team didn't play up to the standard they needed, and that's why we were 4-12. Best 4-12 team of all time.
I've heard that,
but
yeah.
This group did not, its veterans and guys they count on by paying a bunch, did not perform to the level they needed to for this team to take the big jump that they needed to.
Yep.
And if they don't do that again next year, they're going to be gone. A lot of these guys. And in turn, there's a lot of things up in the air about what direction you go with this team, because Goody has shown, you know, it used to be you'd get a pretty good runway to develop and, you know, draft picks and all this. Goody's gotten a little shorter fused as he's gotten older and as he's watched his teams come up short. He's a lot more cutthroat than Ted. He is going to make moves a lot quicker and maybe even rasher. And for the listening audience, I am air quoting that too, rasher, because I think Goody sees it, realizes it, and saw the success he had by going out of pocket to bring players in. I think it's a new era, and I will not be surprised if Goody doesn't go out and do a splashy pickup. Somebody just tweeted at me, and let me pull this up. Who's Goody talking to first guy at the Senior Bowl?
I'm guessing a defensive lineman.
No.
A corner.
Who do you think the old Gutenator's talking to down there? He is talking to Raiders personnel folks at the Senior Bowl.
For those of you not on the video stream, now that Tausch is back on the video stream, he's bringing out his the circling fingers motion. The Max Crosby trade ready to be commenced. Consummated. Moments away. Or maybe not. Maybe they're just standing by each other. Yeah. Great. Interesting.
So let me tell you something. I'm looking at this picture. There is a lot of room and a lot of people standing by themselves in this picture, watching people work at the Senior Bowl. Goody cozied right on up. Right on up.
All right.
So, Alec, thank you for sending that. Mark Gregory, thank you for sending that. And he has the same ideas. Max with 2 X's.
I'm sorry, who sent that to you? Never mind. All right, we need to play trivia. Hunter, I can only hope.
It better be Gerald Ford.
No, I was told that it's Wisconsin Badger trivia. That was before Jesse left. That was his instructions.
By who?
By Jesse.
By my boss.
Jesse ain't here. Jesse's out on the ocean blue.
I understand that, but he still is my boss, even if he's out sailing the ocean blue. Like, that doesn't change. So I was told it was Wisconsin Badger trivia, so I did Wisconsin Badger trivia.
Wow. The fact that Jesse's anyone's boss is just...
The fact that you are adhering to Jesse's, and I quote, rules.
Okay, I'm picking my battles here.
And I quote,
this wasn't
insane.
This was one where I was like, you know what? I'll follow his rules here. I'll find a better spot to rebel. Me going Gerald Ford trivia when it's supposed to be Badger trivia today, I didn't feel like was really that big of a jump.
So you just to go through our schedule this week, because this is what our fans want to listen to. We've got Riley Yauk. We had him yesterday. We have him Friday.
Yes.
He's always been a Friday guy.
Yeah. We have Wooly, Ryan Wollersheim, the sommelier, tomorrow.
Correct.
And you have the Tuesday, Thursday shifts.
Yep. It's a palindrome week.
I
Hannah.
get that.
Very well done.
Thank you.
So I am telling you now, did Jesse give you any...
Why didn't you air quote palindrome, though? That's now that we're air quoting everything.
Oh, sorry. Palindrome week.
Thank you, Hunter.
That was pretty good, actually, Hunter. Well executed. So did Jesse give you any express instructions for Thursday's trivia?
I don't think so, so I'm pretty sure I'm good to go.
We are telling you, Gerald Ford, bring it on.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay? But that's not today. Today's Badger trivia.
Correct.
Which caller would you like?
Let's go caller number 11.
Hunter will take caller 11 right now, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 11 to play Wisconsin Badgers Trivia Tuesday trivia. And if you're driving around Wisconsin with someone other than Tausch and you want to get a snack and maybe pee, you know you're stopping at Quick Trip.
Well, life is busy. Quick Trip gets it, and whether you're craving fresh coffee, a tasty bakery, or a quick grab-and-go meal or snack, Quick Trip is your go-to. Variety and quality, fast service. Quick Trip's team is all about making your day easier and better. Clean restrooms, if you need to pee on a drive, to fresh groceries and everything in between. Quick Trip's got you covered. Plus, they got ATMs and free air for your tires. Those aren't the only perks. Check out Quick Trip's appetizers. Crispy tornadoes packed with bold fillings. Or do you get those zesty mini tacos or bite-sized? Woo! Totally irresistible. Don't forget to take home and bake a freshly made cheese mountain pizza. It's $9.99 or $6.99 for the thin crust. Plus the Quickery white bread. It's 99 cents a loaf. Get apples and oranges and pears. Oh, my! For 3 for $1.49. Make dinner a breeze by grabbing Kitchen Cravings 80% ground beef, 16 ounces for $2.99. Download the Quick Rewards app. Take advantage of everything Quick Trip has to offer. Order ahead or pick up curbside. Quick Trip. We'll see you next time.
Trivia's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
When you've been seriously injured, you'll need a team with knowledge and experience to get the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
It's New Year, new deals at Metro Ford of Madison. With 204 new vehicles in stock, Metro Ford is your home for the best selection and the biggest savings of 2025. Enjoy the 2024 Ford Escape with 1.9% APR for 66 months, $15.97 per thousand borrowed. Or get the future of driving with the 2024 Ford Mach-E at 0% APR financing for 72 months. But hurry, these deals end February 3rd. Visit Metro Ford in person or online at metrofordofmadison.com and drive off in the new Ford of your dreams today.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation, all for just $19.99. Pizza Hut is home to the original stuffed crust pizza, topped and stuffed with over a half pound of delicious, melty cheese. And Pizza Hut's boneless wings are sauced and tossed to perfection and delivered hot directly to you. Order on the app or order online at pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
The Eagles' run game is based on the offensive line. Saquon Barkley does a great job with making second and third level defenders miss, but he's 15, 20 yards downfield. He doesn't get touched for 20 yards. I have a hard time saying that guy is the most important player on the team when nobody touches him for 2 first downs.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekdays from 5 to 9 on 100.5 ESPN.
Purchase your tickets, grab some friends, and get to the Sylvie on Monday, February 24th for Andy North Trivia Night, presented by Exact Sciences. Enjoy a fun and inspiring evening of trivia, music, food, and refreshments while helping to raise money for UW Carbone Cancer Center. This fun and inspiring event is hosted by Andy North, and in addition to the trivia, the lineup includes a silent auction, celebrity appearances, and prizes. Doors open at 6 p.m. Visit AndyNorthandFriends.com to buy your tickets. Past year's events have sold out quickly, so get your tickets today.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
We're on the Packers.
The lesson to be learned is you can't be a 7 seed.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
They got to be better, and if they're not, then next year will be a disappointment.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
Let's play some trivia. Let's welcome in our contestant. It is Bruce in Bayview. Bruce, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning, guys. How are you?
We are very good. Thank you for asking. Tausch, are you going to play along with Bruce again?
No, I'm going to take off. I'm going to take the week off.
Okay. I like the sound. Well, then, that's kind of what I meant by play along. Then you can nod and you can guess yourself.
Yeah, I'm going to play along. I love playing along.
All right. Glad we're on the
Bruce,
same
I
page.
like helping. I'm a helper.
Awesome.
Look for the helpers. That's
I
what
need help.
Mr. Rogers taught us. All right, the category is Badgers Trivia Tuesday. Question number 1 is this. Which former Badger started for the Utah Jazz last night against the Bucks? Was it A.J. Storr, Micah Potter, or Ben Brust?
I'm going to go with Micah Potter.
It's a good answer.
Utah, the Jazz. Yes, indeed. Correct. 1 for 1. The two Utes. Yeah. Question 2, Bruce, is this. It was announced yesterday that which former Badger safety would be returning to the Denver Broncos as the team's defensive backs coach. Is it Jim Leonard, Joe Stelmacher, or Chris Maragos?
I'm going to go Maragos.
Tell him, Tausch.
Bummer.
Jimmy boy.
Jim Leonard, indeed, continuing with the Broncos after getting some
I did not
interest
hear that.
for defensive coordinator jobs throughout the league. All right, let's bounce back, Bruce. Alliteration there.
Yes, sir.
Question 3. With a 5-4 win and a 4-4 tie against number 10 Michigan, which Wisconsin sports team is ranked for the first time since October 21st? Is it men's swimming, men's hockey, or women's sevens rugby?
I'm going to go men's hockey.
Do we have a women's sevens rugby that is... that's not a sanctioned NCAA sport, is it, Hunter?
I don't think so. I just came up with a random sport.
Can't wait for Gerald Ford trivia on Thursday.
Did Jesse let you do that, Hunter? Did he let you pick a random sport?
Really? This is what this is going to be now? Wow. Okay.
Oh, boy. We got some breaking news.
Oh! What do we got?
Well, first, let's say goodbye to Bruce. Bruce, thanks for playing. You got 3 entries out of the possible 4 because you got 2 of the 3 questions right. You'll have 3 entries on Friday, buddy. Thanks for playing.
Awesome. Thank you.
The Jaguars have interviewed a candidate for their defensive coordinator job. That person is currently on the Green Bay Packers coaching staff. I will tell you who he is after Tausch tells us about Kohler Services and what they can do. Just like the Jaguars are renovating their coaching staff, Kohler Services will renovate your restroom.
That was a great tease by Jason, but if you're not looking for a tease, you want a great quality company to get your bathroom or shower redone, let's go. If you've been putting it off for a while, now is the time to get that bath or shower remodel. Turn to Kohler Services, family-owned, 150 years. Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer, providing care for life. In this month only, $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel and no payment financing until '26. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation. But you know that's always included. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
We'll tell you who that coach is. Tausch is intrigued. I've piqued his
Very
interest.
intrigued.
We'll tell you who it is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Kohler Services. If you've been putting off your bath or shower remodel, now is the time to turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel and no payment financing until 2026. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com. Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott and Garrett and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. The holiday season may be over, but that means Valentine's Day is approaching. And it doesn't matter the occasion, birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, or if you're in the doghouse, or if you want to stay out of it, I recommend Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and in Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison. Looking for the most popular answer. What's the worst thing about Wisconsin winters? Gina Della from Pella.
Finding a sitter when snow closes school. Yay! It's the time of the year when we just want to be all warm and snuggly at home. And Pella helps make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. With inviting doors to let friends and family in and beautiful, energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. I joined the Princeton Club because I was looking for a place I could invest in my health, and the environment and the community I have felt has made it so easy for me to incorporate it into my everyday life. It doesn't matter where you're at in your fitness journey because they have something to offer everyone. It also goes beyond fitness. From the moment you walk in the club to the moment you walk out, there is a togetherness felt throughout the members and staff that keeps you going for your better tomorrow. Don't wait any longer and get started on your fitness journey today at PrincetonClub.net. That's PrincetonClub.net.
Join Dr. Lind, podiatrist at Stoughton Health, and discover how the foot works. Learn tips to address common issues like bunions, plantar fasciitis, and Achilles pain. Stoughton Health is offering a free online talk Thursday, January 30th from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. with Dr. Lind. To register for this free online talk, please visit stoughtonhealth.com and click on Classes and Events. Get back on your feet pain-free and confident. Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
This is our crew.
Fly ball right field. Hit a ton. We're tied.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball is coming to ESPN Madison.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Every pitch, every dramatic moment, every
fly ball left field. Back. Still back. It is up and gone.
Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers. 100.5 ESPN.
The Elder Care Locator is here to help you live your best life as you age at home. Our call center advisors are ready to connect you with trustworthy local experts. Help is just a phone call away at 1-800-677-1116.
We're on the Packers.
The Green Bay Packers simply couldn't beat the elite talent in the NFC.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
They were good. They were not good enough.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
Before we get to Whoa Hunter, the Jacksonville Jaguars have just completed an.
That was fun. I love it. I'm going to say this. He's a quirky fella.
Quirky's a good word.
I am on board. I think if Green Bay doesn't win the Super Bowl, I want Jacksonville finding a way. Quirky.
Well,
he's a quirky dude.
Perhaps Anthony Campanile will help him do that as his new defensive coordinator, Liam, just completed an interview per the Jacksonville Jaguars Twitter feed with Anthony Campanile as the candidate for their defensive coordinator job.
Duval.
Creepy.
Yes, indeed.
His linebackers were pretty damn good. He certainly got Edgerrin Cooper ready to play. Edgerrin Cooper deserves most of the credit for playing as great as he did. It's not Anthony Campanile who made him really good and tilt the field, but Eric Wilson was good. Quay Walker was the best he's been, right? You got good production from Isaiah McDuffie. Didn't get Tyron Hopper involved necessarily, but
Duval.
Creepy.
Duval.
Let's get to Wodelli.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Walker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
Whoa, Hunter.
Duval.
Has that made it into a hotkey?
It has.
Yeah, it's
I
good.
had that ready to go today.
I love it.
I knew we were going to bring it up. Yeah, he's a weird guy. I wanted to play some audio. I got nothing else.
Yeah, he's a weird guy.
There's just nothing else there. It's weird. It's weird. He did a better job later on, though.
Quirky. Quirky's a really good word.
Yeah. But I wanted to play some audio from a different press conference that was held yesterday.
Ooh.
This is owner of the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones.
To some, and it might be couched as a less than glamorous hire. What I would say to you is I got here taking shots and not shoddy shots. I got here taking shots. Good things have happened. Let me tell you something. There's some stuff to be had over there where not many people go. To say the very least, I'm all in here.
Can you really say that you're all in when you hire the offensive coordinator from the head coach that you just fired and an offense that was really bad and stale and easy to defend, and all you've done is wait to re-sign a quarterback to overpay him and overpay a wide receiver that you had to wait longer to re-sign? Can you really say that you're all in? By the way, for anyone that doesn't know, I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm not mad at all.
If you had no idea, if you're tuning in for the first time, Hunter is a bitter Cowboys fan.
I'm tired, man. I'm just tired.
Duval. Come on over. Join the Duval team. Jerry Jones butchered this whole thing. And Mike McCarthy called his bluff. Now Jerry is sitting there, and he is a gambler. Maybe he can bluff some fans and media folks by thinking his pocket twos are going to hold up. They're not. We all know that. And he's continuing to sell it. I didn't buy anything he just said there. I think Jerry Jones, and this is going to – I think he needs to become a full-time actor. Let Steven take over.
Only
Let
playing
his daughter,
himself.
I can't remember her name. Let them run it. You're just going to be an elder statesman, and you go and you reboot either Dallas or another Western Texan show and showcase that beautiful acting ability that you have. Finish your career strong as an actor because he proved it. He's going to win an award, and I think that's his next call. I think it's time for him to pass that torch down to Steven and his team.
Charlotte Jones is the person you were looking for.
She handles more of the real estate marketing side of the organization. I know far more about that family than I ever wish to.
Duval.
Duval.
The only question I have, Tausch, is so Mike McCarthy called his bluff, but Mike McCarthy is probably going to end this cycle unless somehow he gets the Saints job. He was an assistant there for a long time under Jim Haslett. He will end up without a coaching job. Is that okay?
Yep.
Does he still win by not having the Cowboys job?
Winning's all relative. I mean, he'd like to coach, but if you're going to coach for the same owner and feel kind of pushed around and how you handled your business this year, unappreciated, yeah, winning is by sometimes telling somebody to blank off, and that's what happened here. I don't think he got fired necessarily, Hunter. It was more of a contract non-renewal.
Yeah, they just couldn't
potato.
Yeah, it was the length of the contract was the issue. Jerry wanted a shorter-term deal. Mike obviously wanted longer-term. The stuff I saw was that he was even asking for, if you got Dak for 4 more years, give me those 4 years with Dak. Because then, like, obviously that's kind of that group's window.
Right.
And then at that point, let's move on from there. Jerry didn't want to do that. He wanted more flexibility. So
what did he
like,
want,
okay.
2 years?
I think, yeah, that was kind of what I had heard. That's all Twitter rumor. But
So as a Cowboys fan, because, look, Packers fans are frustrated, right? It has been since the 2010 team under Mike McCarthy as the number 6 seed with a broken down right tackle on injured reserve for the playoff run, and Brian Bulaga starting in his stead as the youngest player to ever start a Super Bowl, won a title. And that feels like a really long time ago now. 15 seasons have passed. How do you feel as a Cowboys fan? The Cowboys' last Super Bowl title was the 1994, 95 team?
Would have been 95, yeah. It's exhausting, and I think one of the things that makes it even more exhausting for me is the false narrative that every Cowboys fan is like, this is our year, this is our year. It's more like you look at the guys that they have on paper and the talent that they consistently put out on that field, and you're like, yeah, they should be able to compete with most teams in the NFL and at least show a competitive team. And then the second they're in a big game, they don't. So it's just exhausting to have this team that you're like, they're not that far off from a roster perspective, but Jerry Jones either trades for Roy Williams and the dude doesn't show up at all, or he doesn't do anything in the offseason and says that Derrick Henry somehow wouldn't fit your scheme. Like,
Which he did say,
tired.
by the way.
Yes, that's a direct quote. It's so bad.
Can you ever quit the Cowboys?
No, I talked about this on Mr. Irrelevant, which you can watch Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 12:30 on our YouTube.
Really
savvy. Yeah. Who's the host of that show?
Alex Strofe. He's fine. The producer's really where it's at.
Couldn't agree more.
When I got married, the pastor talked about 2 things for me. The first was he mentioned how I work in radio, and when you hear at the beginning of the hour, we call them legal IDs. It identifies where you're at. And he said, you need to have your legal ID be in God, and that will guide you through your marriage. The second thing was, you have been a Cowboys fan through everything. Be like that for Sarah. It's going to be hard. You're going to be frustrated, but be like that for your wife. Be loyal to her and stick with her, and that will get you through your marriage. So the fact that I had a pastor talk about my Cowboys fandom to me and tie it to my faith and my marriage, I can't leave. Like, that says a lot about me if I leave. So I'm here, man.
I think as long as you show the commitment and loyalty to Sarah,
I know.
If you'd like to leave the Cowboys, we're not going to hold you to that.
I know.
There's always Duval, if you'd like to switch.
Duval.
So was that at your request, or did the pastor know you well enough to know
He's my
what
godfather.
a long suffering?
Yeah. He's my godfather and my dad's foster brother, so he's known me my whole life, so that was very easy for him to come up with kind of the 2 things to have very specific to me.
Whoa, Hunter.
Whoa, Nelly.
One really quick one. Last night, the Duke-NC State game, a Duke player threw up on the floor and a fan passed out in the stands, apparently because it was so hot in Cameron Indoor. Like, it's 2025. How are buildings that hot when you know you're going to have thousands of people in them?
The person didn't pass out from seeing the vomit, right?
I don't think so. separate incidents.
Do you get, when you see someone else throw up, do you start to feel that same urge?
I don't. No.
I just remember being in school, and if someone would do that, I then started to feel nauseous myself. And then they had that diamond dust that they would spread around to cover it up.
Oh, the smell of that was awful.
Whoa, Nelly!
Okay, that's Whoa Hunter for today.
We covered a lot.
Sometimes the Cowboys make you want to throw up.
Yeah, almost every Sunday.
So, are we okay with a coach that's quirky? Like, if you let's say we convinced Hunter to abandon his Cowboys fandom, and he declared himself a free agent like Michelle Smallman did, which again there have been some critiques of her commitment to her new relationship with the Packers. Would you be uncomfortable with Liam Cohen's quirkiness as a fan? Or Tausch, are you a believer that he's a smart enough guy based on his track record that he's going to be? There's another example of what we were talking about earlier, that if you move on from someone, you can always do worse too. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to do better. And the Bears have proven that. I don't know what he's going to do down there, but Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl. Seemed to be a pretty good coach. Maybe it's the place, not the coach, that's usually the problem. Fair or unfair?
Well, maybe it's more about Trent Baalke keeping him and then firing him to bring in Liam Cohen, and Liam Cohen telling the Buccaneers he's going to stay and then he leaves. That's the quirkiness and all that. I mean, biting kneecaps, Sirianni doing that whole crazy deal. Everybody thought, wow, these are two crazy hires, and they've had the two of the better teams in the entire league. So
you're right.
I don't judge all that. It's about the actual substance behind it.
Yeah.
I don't want vanilla. Blech. Bring me something. If you want to be quirky and Duval or whatever, bite kneecaps. Be smart, be authentic, and be right. If you have those three things, you'll probably be all right as a coach.
So is our guy Big Mike Vanilla? Like if New Orleans were to hire him as their next coach?
Oh, he's smashing watermelons in camps. I don't know.
Like
He's like
Gallagher.
the twist. He's got a little bit in him, but there's still that vanilla.
He's a good football
There you
coach.
go. Twist cone.
All right, we'll wrap things up next after I tell you, look, if Hunter wants to make the switch in his fandom, let's say he just says, I'm done with the Cowboys. I'm going to be a Packers fan. I work in Wisconsin. I live in Wisconsin. I'm going to become a Packers fan. Well, there's one way to get him started, and that's with Packers checking from Associated Bank. He can show his newfound fandom with Packers Debit MasterCard, Packers checks, and 10% off at the Packers Pro Shop in-store and online to get his gear to replace all of his Cowboys stuff. Plus, he'd get all kinds of other great perks that comes with an Associated Bank customer experience, including credit monitor, early pay on direct deposits, the $50 overdraft grace zone, 30,000 plus surcharge-free ATMs, and so much more. So go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more. We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Duval.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's home for craft beer and pub food since 1994. Find the Great Dane nearest you and check out the menu at greatdanepub.com. The Xavier Lucas Wisconsin drama raising concerns in the new era of NIL agreements. CBS Sports insider Shahan Jayaraja joining the Jump Around digital show. His big question on the matter:
how far does everyone want to take this? Because it could just be a warning shot. This could turn into a huge lawsuit where potentially at issue would be whether the idea of a player being able to leave a rev share agreement would be on the table. It would be a huge precedent to set for the future of college football.
The Jump Around streaming Thursdays at 12:30 on ESPN Madison's YouTube channel.
Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at PellaWI.com.
As a bull rider, I prefer to do things single-handedly. That's why I love the UW Credit Union app. me check accounts, make transfers and more on the go. And if I need an extra hand, UW Credit Union has convenient local branches. Yippee! So, if you want simple mobile banking, mosey on over to UW Credit Union. They're here for every y'all. Federally insured by NCUA.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
The Eagles' run game is based on the offensive line. Saquon Barkley does a great job with making second and third level defenders miss, but he's 15, 20 yards downfield. He doesn't get touched for 20 yards. I have a hard time saying that guy is the most important player on the team when nobody touches him for 2 first downs.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekdays from 5 to 9 on 100.5 ESPN.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
We're on the Packers.
For me, the next year, this upcoming year,
because we're on Wisconsin sports.
It's when I'm judging Jordan Love on a lot of things.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
'Cause I'm a hazard to myself. Don't let me get me. No, I'm my own worst enemy. It's bad when you know yourself. So irritating. No, don't wanna be my friend no more. I wanna be somebody else. Yeah.
All right, Tausch, help me out with this because obviously I have not played in the NFL. But I like Anthony Campanile. I made the comment about how his linebackers played well. We were talking earlier about players who regressed, and there were a lot of defensive linemen on the list. Jason Rebrovich got fired. When you look at your playing experience, was it only Larry Bechtel and James Campen that you had as a position coach?
Joe Philbin for 1
Joe
year.
Philbin. So when you look at your career, how vital are those guys? And when you're playing for them, do you see that Joe Philbin went on to become an NFL head coach and an offensive coordinator? Are you aware of how good they are? Like, are these linebackers saying, boy, I hope we love Camp, but we hope he doesn't get the job because he made us better? Like, what's the view of a player?
Well, if you're a dirtbag, that's what you're hoping for. You're hoping your coach ends up getting to go live their dreams out too.
Sure.
Yeah, selfishly,
Dirtbag.
you want your coaches. You can tell coaches that are faking it and they're doing it. And most coaches that get to this level are in it for the right reasons. There's ego with everybody, no doubt, but a good coach is huge to the development of your, Jim Huber at Wisconsin. Without him and, the not only the personal side of it, but also the way he coached and how he handled his business and the demands that he gave you give you an opportunity, a chance to have a chance. And Larry Bechtel was gruff, but he knew his stuff, man. He was a coach that knew his stuff. Campy's the same way. Campy is a little more of a, from a personal standpoint, more of a guy because he played. You could have maybe more personal conversations, but it all comes back to you want them to be successful because you're going to be successful. And coaches need to push, demand, and then expect what they're going to get because their livelihoods depend on it too. So it is an incredibly, I think probably one of the most overlooked parts of the NFL is the coaching that you get and how you develop your guys. That is a big differentiator. And the guys that can stay at certain places and really build that culture and get it moving, Stoutland with Philadelphia, one of the GOATs, and look at his groups. That then gets passed down. It's like anybody that comes in, it's a lot easier when you have those things built in.
Even though we're now running late. That was great insight, and that's exactly what I was looking for. It was so freaking awesome.
Way to bring it up at 11:56.
Thank you so much.
Good work.
Well, we didn't even get the news about him until 11:40.
You're a nitwit.
Why are you always trying to stir stuff up, Jason?
Jason.
If Anthony Campanile gets the defensive coordinator job for the Jaguars, Hunter, what will he say?
Duval.
We'll do it again tomorrow. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin On Demand.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello.